Welcome in to another episode of Preferred Walk On, a college football show. Max Chadwick alongside Dalton Wasserman, and it is officially draft week. And Dalton, for the good people, our final mock draft, and it's the biggest mock draft that we've ever done, a full 3 rounds for the 2026 NFL Draft, predicting what will happen on Thursday and even Friday night of the NFL draft for the first 100 picks. Dalton, I can't believe we're finally here. It's draft week. I cannot wait to see what happens in what should be a chaotic draft this year.
Listen, I am just so glad we are finally here because we hit that point in the last couple of weeks before the draft where I just get sick of the rumors and whispers and speculation and every other crazy idea that everybody has. So we're going to get it out of our system one last time today, and then we're going to be done with it. And I'm just so much like more when we actually get things to happen and we can just go, okay, we love this fit, we love that fit, we love this pick, we hate this one. Like, let's get this out one last time. The rumors are done after today. This is the official 100% accurate 3-round mock. Of course, Max, we're going to get everything right here.
I cannot wait for this mock draft that we're about to do. We're going to do a full predictive mock draft, maybe even a few trades in there if we want to do it, as we'll have not done any trades really in any of our mock drafts. But we have to do it for the final one that we're going to do in 2026. Before we start the show, want to remind you guys right now, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. We're trying to get to like 50,000 subscribers for this upcoming season in college football. And also, make sure you guys follow the socials for us right now, whether it be my or Donald's X accounts, whether it be my TikTok account, or whether it be the show accounts that we have as well, at preferred_WO for the X account, and then the Instagram account is at preferred_walk_on. So producer Eli doing an incredible job with those accounts right now. Make sure you go subscribe and follow all of those accounts right now. So really appreciate you guys for that. Dalton, without further ado, man, let's pull up the mock draft simulator from our good friends over at Pro Football Sports Network. They have an excellent mock draft simulator. Go check it out if you haven't already. Again, doing a full 3 rounds in this mock draft. Also, I don't know if you saw from PFSN, they have a mock draft simulator out now for previous drafts. You could do like a 2020 redraft, 2021, 2022. It's actually very, very cool, the new tools that they have in that mock draft simulator. We're doing 2026, though, for this upcoming NFL draft. I feel like I should take the first overall pick because I do want you to pick for your New York Jets and say what you think will actually happen. So I'll go first, and I'll do the one that everyone knows is going to happen. I'm taking Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback out of Indiana. Is pretty much a guarantee. I mean, I know even when Kirk Cousins signed with the Raiders, he even said in his press conference, I'm really looking forward to mentoring Fernando Mendoza. So it's all but confirmed that Fernando Mendoza will be the number 1 overall pick. Should not be a surprise to anyone.
It is the only thing in this draft that we know for sure. And I don't remember the last time that we got to even the number 2 pick and just had no idea what was going on. But this is the one sure bet. We've known it since the end of the college season, really since the second Dante Moore said he was going back to Oregon. We knew Mendoza was going first because the Raiders really don't have any other choice here. They need a quarterback. He's the best one available. So congratulations early from us to Fernando Mendoza for earning this number 1 overall pick on the back of a Heisman Trophy and a national championship. And I still think it's a good fit with Clint Kubiak. And it's going to be really fun to go through these 3 rounds and see what else we can add to this Raider team to support him.
Absolutely. All right. Your New York Jets up here at number 2 overall. What are you going to do here? Again, not what you would do, Dalton, but what do you think your New York Jets are going to do with this number 2 overall pick?
I'm buying the hype that it really, I mean, the Jets have been, apparently their building has been so quiet about things that we don't really know. I'm buying the hype that it is either Arvell Reese or David Bailey, possibly an equal chance at the 2 of them. So I think when you look at this situation, it's just going to depend on what they want. And they might end up trading somebody on the back of this pick, whether that's a Will McDonald or a Jamie and Sherwood, or maybe they just keep everybody and have the depth on this defense that Aaron Glenn wants, especially with him calling the plays. If I'm going predictive, and again, there's not much in this draft outside of maybe this top 5 that I'm going to make predictive here, because I think after this top 5 or so, it's going to be maybe a train wreck. It feels like it's still going to be Arvell Reese, I think. I think there's a chance it's David Bailey. Maybe there's a sleeper. I don't think they're going to go Caleb Downs. I think it's Arvell Reese. I mean, you've got a special athlete. You've got a guy who, again, to me is a linebacker who you can play down on the line of scrimmage when you want to. That gives Aaron Glenn a lot of flexibility to play with a player like that. I'm not as big a fan of him as a 100% edge defender. I think if you're going to do that, then just take Bailey or even Reuben Bain, but it doesn't sound like Reuben Bain is their guy. I think it's going to be Reese. I might personally lean a little more towards Bailey, but you could about flip a coin with this. And again, to come into a draft where we have absolutely no idea what's going to happen at number 2, I think this is probably, it's been the betting favorite for most of this process. I'm going to go with it. Arvell Reese, figure out what to do with him and Demario Davis and Jamie and Sherwood, or if he's an edge player, then so be it. We're making the transition.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it really is down to those two players right now. And it's almost a coin flip between Arvell Reese and David Bailey. I'd probably be with you and lean Arvell Reese, but it's honestly, I could see either of those guys go number 2 overall. So I kind of agree with you there. Will be Arvell Reese, I believe, but we'll see with David Bailey too, because there's apparently a lot of hype for David Bailey in New York too. I hear number 3, Arizona is another pick, Dalton, where a lot of people think it can go anywhere, right? There's talk about, okay, they need a right tackle, so maybe it's a Francis Mauigoa or a Spencer Fano, or there's a lot of talk right now about maybe David Bailey getting drafted there, maybe even an Arvell Reese if he falls there too, because they could use help at edge rusher. Or the latest one is Jeremiah Love might come off the board at number 3 overall because Arizona could use some more help at running back. I'm not going to go with Jeremiah Love here. I think he probably will be your next pick, the Tennessee Titans. I'm probably going to stick along the offensive line. There's also maybe a trade down scenario too, like maybe Dallas wants to move up for someone that they really love in this class. But I'm going to stick here and take Francis Mauigoa, the right tackle out of Miami. Again, they really need help at right tackle right now with Elijah Wilkinson slated to start at right tackle after losing Jonah Williams in free agency. And I think getting Francis Mauigoa in there to be opposite of Paris Johnson, that's probably what I expect to happen in the draft. But this is another pick here, Dalton, where I could see it being David Bailey. I could see it being Jeremiah Love or a right tackle. I think Arizona is a wide open case right now, too.
I think the Cardinals. There's been a lot of debate about Arvell Reese with them too, if he were to get here with some of the history of them taking these hybrid type of players. They're a hard team. If you were getting into a trade down scenario, I think this is the first team you talk about, but it's still, even in this draft, a heavy price. I was going through a lot of trade scenarios last night. We're going to bring up some. We're going to get some trades in, at least in this first round here, Max. I'm telling you right now. The Cardinals are just hard because it's such a heavy price. Like I look at Kansas City and I go, would they have to give up both of their first round picks to get here? Let's say if they wanted David Bailey. Dallas, same thing with 12 and 20, maybe, and some after that. I think the Cardinals would prefer to move down, but the price is so heavy. Do you take any sort of discount with those two first? If Kansas City offered you 9 and 29, you taking that? I probably would. But are the Chiefs then going to do that and go, okay, we did all this and we got the McDuffie pick and we did it all to go get David Bailey up at number 3? It's a tough call. So I get it. You said you're going Mauigoa here, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because it feels like there's nobody that they really want to take third overall. They want to move down, but it's still a heavy price to get up to 3, man. It's so tough. I don't think the Cardinals are going to find a way to trade down. I don't, unless they take maybe even a little bit of a discount from one of those teams. KC and Dallas stick out to me.
Would you go with Mauigoa if you were in my shoes there, or would you lean like David Bailey or Jeremiah Love even?
I would think about for them. I don't know that Love is the right move. I mean, they've got one more year.
Agree.
James Conner. They signed Tyler Algier. I mean, you're just overkilling this position when you have so many other needs. I mean, I think Bailey's an option. I think Ruben Bain's an option. I think Sonny Styles is an option. Their linebacker room's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So I mean, if Reese were there, I actually think I would have. It would be an easier explanation for me to take Reese as a combo guy, and I know the Cardinals again have a long history with that, and some of it not all that favorable. But this is hard, man. I really think the first preference is to trade down, but I don't think I would go with Love. I'd have to take something to make this front 7 better.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go with Francis Mauigoa for now. Donnie in the chat saying, I think we're going to move down from number 3 overall. I think it's possible. I really do think it's possible. I just don't know if anyone's going to be willing to move up that far to number 3 overall. You're up here at number 4 with the Tennessee Titans.
This gets back to my old dilemma here. And I do think the Titans, it is also possible that they could try to trade down here. And I think it would make some sense too. I think when you look at the options you have here, Jeremiah Love is an option, but again, expensive running back, right? David Bailey's an option. Sonny Styles is an option, right? I mean, if you don't feel great about Cody Barton and you want to put Styles now with Cedric Gray, could be a potentially elite linebacker duo. So this is hard. I mean, the Jeremiah Love read, it feels like everyone has him as a top 2 player, right? He was second for us. Some people have him number 1. And do you just do it to jumpstart this offense? Even though the offensive line, like this interior offensive line, they're still going to need. We're going to have to spend round 2 and 3 figuring out what's going on in this offensive line too, because they've got some holes. But this is tough. because I think Robert Saleh would really like David Bailey too. I'm going to go Jeremiah Love because the boards are all telling us that he's a top 2 player in this class and probably the best offensive player. But I'm not 100% sure, and it wouldn't shock me either if Tennessee was looking to move down. It would not shock me. Like, to me, if a team also like Dallas wanted Sonny Styles, they'd have to get ahead of what you're probably going to do here at number 5 with the Giants. I think that's really a big inflection point is how do these teams think of Styles? Because at least you haven't said anything yet, but I'm 90% sure you're taking Sonny Styles here at 5.
Yeah, I'm going to take Sonny Styles here, but I'm with you. I would take Jeremiah Love to the Titans too. There's so much smoke there in Tennessee, and I think he's probably not going to fall out of the top 4 of the draft at this point. I think Tennessee's most likely landing spot for Jeremiah Love too. So I'm with you there at number 4 overall, and I'm going to take Sonny Styles here at number 5 overall. The linebacker out of Ohio State, just help out the linebacker room for the Giants, and we know John Harbaugh how much he values linebackers. You know, Ray Lewis and Roquan Smith and the guys he had back there in Baltimore. Sonny Styles, you also talked about before how he considers linebacker to be a premium position, whereas a lot of people don't consider linebacker to be a premium position. John Harbaugh does, and I think you see a guy like Sonny Styles, who I've said before might be one of the best linebacker prospects that we've seen over the last decade plus, honestly. I do think he'll be the guy here for New York. Now, I do think Dallas is probably really in on Sonny Styles, and maybe they're trying to move up to number 3 or number 4 to get ahead of their division rival and get Sonny Styles in there. But at least in this mock draft, it won't happen here. So I'm going to take Sonny Styles to the Giants.
I think the Giants are the most interesting team in this draft now. And when you talk about them having the opportunity to take Styles at 5 and then whatever they want at 10, they're so fascinating because they could double up on defense if Caleb Downs were to get there, Mansour Lane. They could go wide receiver. Jordan Tyson would make a lot of sense. I think the Giants are in such a good spot. I think that was a win-win trade. I've talked to a million people in the last 3 days about this, but I think it was a potential for a win-win trade here because the Bengals sitting at 10, we're in a tough spot. I think the Giants sitting at 10 and number 5, they're in a fantastic spot. So we'll see what we get to here at number 10, but that's going to be a lot of fun. The Browns are a team we've heard a lot of trade down noise of, and I think we're going to do it here. We're going to figure out a trade for the Browns. So question is, because the 2 that pop in my head here, I don't like the idea. I've seen some mocks with the idea of the Jets trading up for a receiver here or at 7. I don't love it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think the 2 for me are, do the Chiefs want David Bailey, or do the Cowboys want to get up here and get like Downs or Delane? Something they may not get Styles, but do they want maybe the best player in the draft in the secondary? What do you think on those 2?
Do you think the Cowboys would be in on David Bailey too, though? That's another possibility, I think.
Oh, it's an option. Mate,
I would lean Dallas. I think we've heard so much rumblings with Dallas wanting to move up that if we're going to do a trade here, I would do Dallas because of how much we've heard about it.
So here's the thing, because 12 and 20 might be a tad bit of an overpay, but they don't have a second round pick. So would the Browns take a second rounder next year, or would it have to be 12 and 20, do we think? Because a second rounder really kind of draws this even, especially in this draft where you're not getting the quarterback tax added on. Mm-hmm. I think the Browns need to trade down. I would love it.
Yeah, 12 and 20 would be too much to move up to 6. I'm looking at the pick calculator right now.
Could I go a second rounder next year, and maybe I have to add like a day 3 pick? Do I add in 112?
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, I think that would probably make sense. Like a second rounder next year and 112 would make sense. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's get Dallas up here to
12
6.
and 20 would be too much.
I think so too. And Dallas getting to stay at 20 is big. And I think they're a good trade down opportunity at 20. All right, I'm in on this. 12, 112, and a second rounder next year for pick 6. We're getting Dallas up ahead of Washington. We're gonna do that. Well, you made a good point. Could this be David Bailey? They denied. Oh, do you have a way to force it? Do you have a way to force it, Eli? Force it, Eli.
Can we force it?
Oh boy.
Can we? Oh no. No, not 20.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Okay.
The main thing is a 2027 second, because they don't have, not having a second round pick this year. Okay, all right. Take this one now. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, good.
Well, they wouldn't give up because they have 2 first-round picks next year. They wouldn't give up one of those, right? Because obviously you discount
Well,
first-round picks in the future
they
as a
can't.
year away.
So they can't trade. Um, which one is it? They can't trade. I don't think either of them, because one of the conditions I think it was with the Jets in that first round pick is that the Jets are going to get the better of those 2 picks, whichever it
Mhm.
is. Which means if they're both conditional, you can't trade them. If that makes sense, right? The Jets, I think that's the deal. Is the better between the Cowboys and the Packers, the Jets are going to get the better of them in that Quinnen trade. So they can't.
Ah,
If
okay.
I'm right on this, they cannot trade a 2027 first. They can't do it.
Okay. All right, let's
So,
do that then. I think
so
it
here's.
makes sense for Dallas. So who are you taking here at 6 now?
I would be between David Bailey and Caleb Downs,
I'm with you.
and it feels like I don't know because Downs is so good. He's such a wild card in this draft. I would probably take Caleb Downs to be honest with you. But
Mhm. Do you think
but
Jerry would
there's
do that
also
though?
maybe. I mean, if if he's
Bailey
watching our
playing in the Lone Star State too. You know how Jerry loves those guys playing Texas.
if he's watching our show, he's taking Downs, #1 player on the board. If Jerry Jones watches our show, appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go David Bailey. Let's say they just go full tilt. We've got a deep edge room. We've got Rashawn Gary. We've got Donovan Ezeraku. Now we've got David Bailey. We've got the inside set with Quinnen and Kenny Clark and all those guys, and pretty deep class at linebacker and safety. Maybe we get like a Thieneman or a McNeil Warren to us at 20, or we trade back, or however we want to do it. Let's go David Bailey at 6. We steal him from the division rival Commanders.
I love it. David Bailey, Donovan Ezeraku as the future edge duo for Dallas. And with also Rashawn Gary there too. It was gonna be a lot of fun for Dallas Cowboys. All right, number 7 overall here. I have the Commanders, who probably again. So Dallas Dalton, they didn't snipe a division rival in the Giants and getting Sonny Styles. But they did snipe the Commanders because they probably would have been in on David Bailey too. Here for Washington, I think what I'm gonna do here is take Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State. I think Washington just needs to get better players in their defense right now. I think Caleb Downs is the best player in the draft. I think safety is a need for Washington right now. Ruben Bain's also obviously a possibility here for the Commanders, but like I said before, Caleb Downs is the best player in the draft, and Washington took a top 5 pick and a safety in Sean Taylor, the late great Sean Taylor, not too long ago, and he ended up working out for them as long as he played for them. Caleb Downs, I think, will also be an excellent safety for Washington too. So I think I'm going to take him here to the Commanders, and like I said, I think it'd be a dream pick for the Commanders if they can get him here at 7.
I'm in on it. I don't mind it one bit. I think there's a lot of good choices. I think if you went there, if you went Mansour Delane, Ruben Bain, even a receiver, if they're a team, I think you look out for. All these teams have needs at receiver here in this part of the draft. So I think it makes a ton of sense for any and all of them. But Caleb Downs, you know me, I'd be a fan of him on any of the 32 teams, and I don't think I could say that about very many guys in this draft. He could change the complexion of Dan Quinn's defense, and they need that so badly.
All right, Caleb Downs going to the Washington Commanders. You are up here, Dalton, with your favorite NFC team, I'll say, the New Orleans Saints.
I think I'm gonna go. I'm kind of lean. I get the case for Bain here, but they're okay off the edge with Chase Young and Carl Granderson. I get the case for Mansour Delane as well, but you're kind of stacking up that corner room. I think. Does it still feel? I know we've gotten a lot of the Jordan Tyson noise this week. Does it still feel like Carnell Tate's the first receiver that's going to get drafted?
I think so.
I'm going to do that here. I'm going to go Carnell Tate here. Just another weapon on the outside. If they did go with Tyson, and Tyson pulled the upset of being the first receiver drafted, especially after the workout he had the other day and all the noise that's now he's back to being a top 12 pick, Max, apparently. I mean, just everything comes full circle. We left the college season with him as a top 6 player, and then he dropped all the way down, and now he's back up. He got healthy over the course of a spring. Shocker. But I still think I'm with you. I think Tate's most likely the first to get drafted, and the Saints just need a second weapon. I'm in on this. I mean, and if they get their shot at any of them, they get their pick of them. So we might have the right position and the wrong player here, but it still feels like Carnell Tate has a good chance of being a top 10 pick here.
I think he fits in New Orleans too. I mean, they're looking for an X receiver that could complement Chris Olave, another former Ohio State receiver. There with Tyler Shuck. I think it really fits for New Orleans. So I like the pick a lot there for the Saints. I kind of have a decision here to make now between Ruben Bain and Mansour Delane, in my opinion. I'm kind of leaning Delane right now, but It is close. It's really close. I'm going to go with Mansour Delane. I think he's the best corner in the draft. We know that Kansas City's probably going to be in on this cornerback class after trading away Trent McDuffie. Delane, especially now with the news about Jermon McCoy's recent injury news. Don't know if you've seen a lot of the stuff with him lately, but it's not looking great. In fact, I think we could be seeing a Will Johnson type of slide from Jermon McCoy at this point. Unfortunately, I think Mansour Delane now is the clear-cut number one corner in this class. So I think Kansas City will probably take him here at number 9.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think you make a great point about McCoy, because if we're factoring in McCoy's injury as a major issue, like you said, with Will Johnson and Ben Morrison last year, then there's to me a pretty solid drop off from Delane to the next set of corners. And we like guys like Avion Terrell, D'Angelo Pons, Colton Hood, all those guys, but none of them. There's a gap between them and Mansour in this draft. I mean, I think when you're talking about just the Chiefs' needs at cornerback, it's desperate, man. I mean, they're looking right now at Christian Fulton and Noel Williams starting for them. I like Noel Williams, good young player, but you need some premier talent in that secondary, especially with the way that Steve Spagnuolo's defense works. So I'm in on that. I think it's a good pick. It's something I would have thought about here for the Giants. But I think, to be honest, I think you've made my decision pretty easy here. Now, we both have Mekhi Lemon as wide receiver 1. But it sure sounds like Jordan Tyson is going to go first, and we're going to get Lemon here somewhere in the teens. I'm going to go with Jordan Tyson here. The Giants need another weapon. To me, I think Tyson's the best intermediate route runner in the draft. I think it adds a different dimension to their offense. You've got Neighbors as the explosive playmaker. Darius Slayton can still get deep once or twice a game. Jordan Tyson comes in there, and he can be just such a reliable chain mover for them. And to me, there's a lot of scenarios where I think we get an A-graded draft out of the Giants. This is one of them. I have no issue with this at all. I think this is exactly what they were thinking when they traded Dexter Lawrence. We get Sonny Styles, we get Jordan Tyson. We're much better on both sides of the ball, and we still got more day 2 picks to work with to fill in the middle of this defense and maybe even add something to the running back room, to the tight end room. I think you can do a little bit here with a lot of different areas for the Giants, but 2 premier playmakers here and 1 on each side of the ball. If Tyson's healthy, great compliment to Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, if I'm the Giants, I'm with you. I'm probably taking a defensive player at number 5 overall in Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs, whoever you want to take there. I think either of them would be a great pick at number 5 overall. And then I'm waiting to number 10 to get a receiver, because I think this receiver class, you'll get a Cardinal Tate, a Mekhi Lemon, or a Jordan Tyson at number 10 overall. I think it makes complete sense for them too. So I'm with you right there. I would probably – Mekhi Lemon's interesting for them too, but Jordan Tyson, seems like the hype is back for Jordan Tyson. So makes sense that he goes there at number 10. Here at number 11 for Miami, I could stick in Miami and take an edge rusher, but I think what I'm going to do...
I had the thought you very well could go best available there.
I could. Man, this receiving core is so bad, though. This receiving core is so bad, and you have one of the big 3 receivers still there in Mekhi Lemon. I think I'm going to go Mekhi Lemon here over Ruben Bain. Now, I think it would be... Ruben Bain would be an excellent fit in Miami, and I think it would be really fun to see him play with the Dolphins, but... I think they need help in that receiver room so freaking badly, man. Like Malik Willis is their quarterback right now, and he does not have a chance with the receiving core the Dolphins have for him right now. You got to add more weapons for him. So I'm going to go with Mekhi Lemon here for Miami.
I wouldn't dare put Ruben Bain with Myles Garrett, would I?
I was going to say you could.
Wow. Man. If I had 11, I would have taken Bain. I'm being honest with you. That's also me manifesting Lemon to the Jets, though, which still might not happen. Oh man, this is tough.
Or if you want, you could trade down again and to a team that needs Ruben Bain. If you really want, I don't know if you want to do that.
I don't think they'll trade down twice. I don't think so.
Well, if you don't take Ruben Bain, I might trade down with the Rams then.
Oh, well, because if Bain gets to Baltimore, I might go ahead and do it with Baltimore. But Ruben Bain and Trey Hendrickson? Oh, come on now, 2 South Florida legends right there. I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I'm not gonna do it. For as fun as it is, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna be the idiot that drafts for need. We traded down. I like the capital we got. This is higher than I would take him. Because he's a left tackle and he's one of the few.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 of them though. Oh, actually, I just thought of it. Is it Proctor or Freeling?
I would lean Freeling. In a predictive mock, I would take Proctor and we would do. But in a predictive mock, I think Freeling's going to go ahead of him.
All right. We're going Monroe Freeling. The Browns trade down. get a left tackle at 12, mull over your option. If one of the receivers, if Lemon was there, I might have actually done it there and waited on tackle. But I also think there's going to be an extremely high urgency of getting tackles like right now in this area of the draft. I might have another trade or two for you in a minute here. In this area of the draft, yeah, I think there's going to be a major push for tackles here in the teens. I think it's going to be one of the big stories come Thursday.
Okay. Is there any
One row
team
free
that we think
at 12? We get a left tackle in Cleveland.
Do we think a team that's desperate for Ruben Bain here?
Desperate? I don't think. Actually, if there's one team that call it desperate, this was one I didn't think of, but it might take a third or maybe a small package. The Bucks.
I was gonna say I was looking at the Bucks.
Did the Bucks take the chance that he gets by? Would the Rams just take him themselves? Just add to it. Verse and Young and Bain. I mean, man.
Yeah, you could.
I'll tell you, with no receivers on the board, I think you're thinking right with a trade down, but Bain is going to work. One of the next two teams here is going to take him. How could you not? If he gets to the Bucks at 15, that's a dream.
So I think the Bucks almost to be safe, they should trade up 2 spots and just get him.
Okay. That's actually something.
So I'm looking at the trade value chart right now. It's about 100 point. It's a 100-point difference. It's a 100-point difference, which is about a third-round pick or a third-round pick.
A late third. What do the Bucks have here? Let's see.
They have 116 we can give them, which is about 60 points.
Is there like a swap it back sort of scenario? What if you did sent 77 and you sent back 93?
Let's see, 77. Yeah, that could work.
If you sent 93 back, or maybe you add in one of those like 4th-round picks anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that could work. So swap those two.
Swap 77 and 93. Yeah, if that racks close to it, yeah, let's do it, because I think that would be, if Bain got to this range, the Bucks would want him. Wow, this is one I didn't even have written down. I'd be in on this. All right, we're doing this.
Yep, 15 for 13 and 93.
13 and 93 for 15 and 77. Okay.
Yes.
And there's no question you're taking Ruben Bain there.
No, I'm going to go Spencer Fano here, actually.
What a sicko. What a sicko. What a sicko.
I'm taking Ruben Bain. I'm taking Ruben Bain, the edge rusher.
Terrible general managing right there. Wow.
I think Trevor would be thrilled with this, I think, if this happens. But, yeah, Ruben Bain. The arm length concerns are there, obviously, Ruben Bain. But, man, this guy led the nation in pressures. He was probably a better run defender than pass rusher, which is saying a lot considering he led the nation in pressures. But I think he's a top 5, top 10 player easily in this draft. And he falls here to 13 overall to Tampa Bay. I would not rule out Ruben Bain falling out of the top 10, though. I think that teams really do value arm length that much. I don't think he should fall out of the first round because of that, but there is a chance he falls out of the top 10 because teams really do are that scared of his arm length. But I'm going to take him here at Tampa Bay at number 13 overall. They should be all in on this if I'm the general manager of the Bucs.
I think it's smart. I think it's smart to get ahead of Baltimore here. I know they have Mike Green and some other guys, but if they were to get a chance to take Bain, especially as good a run defender as he is, along with Trey Hendrickson and insurance for some of the injuries they have, I think it'd be a case. Now I'm out on the edge talk for Baltimore here at 14. I'm going to go back to old reliable, man. The top 3 receivers are off the board. The Ruben Bain situation's off the board. Give me Venga Ioane. It's the pick I've been making more than probably any other pick other than the obvious Fernando Mendoza one. This team needs another guard. They may need a center also. Right now they do need a center also. They got to work on this offensive line. Venga Ioane to the Ravens is one of my favorite pairings. It makes them immediately better, especially here with all the elite edges, including Bain, and all the receivers gone. This is as clean-cut a pick to me as there is in this first round.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think Venga Ioane makes a lot of sense. Our old boss, Gordon McGinnis, Dalton, was texting me saying, if you guys don't do the right pick for the Ravens, I'm going to be going crazy in your chat. So hopefully Gordon's cool with the Venga Ioane pick in the chat right now. But I'm with you. I think he's probably going to be ending up as a Baltimore Raven at the end of the day, and it makes a lot of sense there for that offensive line. So he goes there at number 14 overall. Here I have the LA Rams. I think a guy I'm leaning towards Dalton right now is Spencer Fano, the right tackle out of Utah. I think obviously Warren McClendon was pretty solid at right tackle for them this past year, but he is entering the final year of his rookie deal. And like I said, he's a solid player, and I would give him a shot to be the starting right tackle next year too. But Spencer Fano could be that long-term starting right tackle for them in LA. So not necessarily a massive need for LA right now, but I think Spencer Fano could be a great pick for the future for the Rams.
This is where the tackle question gets fun. And I think for as many people as are mocking the Jets to trade up from 16 here, I think with Detroit, we are like 90% sure that Detroit's going to take an offensive tackle, right? Mm-hmm. I think the Jets, and even the Bucs, if you hadn't traded up, I would have proposed to trade down. I think the Jets are actually a prime trade down spot. So to me, I've got two choices here. I'm either going to take Dylan Thieneman, or I think I'm going to trade down with a team like Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's going to come up for probably somebody like Caden Proctor. It's just how much I love Thieneman, though. God, I love that guy. You already know. It's tough. It's tough. It gets tough. Let's see. All right, so Jets in Pittsburgh. Tell me this.
Thieneman's not getting past 18, I don't think. I don't think Thieneman's going to get past 18.
I don't think so. But also the Jets have 2 second-rounders, and we could take a safety somewhere in there. A.J. Halsey's a guy that sticks out to me, right? Tell me this. Jets and Steelers. Steelers give 21 and 76 to get up here to 16. You're the Steelers fan. You taking that to get Caden Proctor? Or are you going to wait?
I would. I love Caden Proctor. Yeah, I do. So I would do it.
Let's do it, because I think the Jets are a good trade down team at 16. I really do. And I think the Steelers, with all the picks they have, I think are a very good trade up team. And you need to me, when I look at this, you need to get ahead of Detroit. I think the Bucs and Jets, and we traded up with the Bucs here. I think the Bucs and the Jets are where things could get wild with these 2 picks, with teams trying to get ahead of a team in the Lions that we know, barring anything wild, they're taking a tackle. They've pretty much told us as much, right? I'm going to go with this. Give me 21 and 76 from Pittsburgh to the Jets for 16, and I'm going to take Caden Proctor to the Steelers, your guy.
Ooh, did not accept it. We got to do another trade, Dalton.
Throw something in next year. I don't care about next year. Actually, if you give us more next year, that's just what Muji's doing anyway. 21 and 76.
How close is 21 and 76? 16. Let's see.
I thought it was relatively close. Okay, we're good. Yeah, 21 and 76 should work. All right.
Okay.
Caden Proctor, whether he's guard or tackle this year, the Steelers beefing up 350 pounds of running back that they can use as well. But you imagine him and Darnell Washington lining up next to each other? Be silly.
That would be silly. Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, Caden Proctor. For my Pittsburgh Steelers, I actually kind of love that for Pittsburgh. I'm a huge fan of Caden Proctor, as we know. So yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think my Wi-Fi's being a little slower now. Hopefully it doesn't crash out on us. All right, Steelers. I think just the amount of trades we're doing, Dalton, just make my computer just spaz out right now. Okay. But next up, we have
you took over the last one. I'll do this one. It's fine.
17 overall up here in the draft. So I have the Lions
start
now.
Reaching. Is it Blake Miller? Yeah. Is it Ionicher? Right? You probably would have. You might have thought about taking Proctor. Do you go defense? You go Mesidor? What are we doing here? It's got fun.
Could be Blake Miller. I think he's probably the next tackle. Does he go that high though?
In
this board did not break well for Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah. See that? We got 4 tackles off the board already.
Yeah, let's do Blake Miller. I'm going to go Blake Miller. I think he's a rock-solid right tackle. He's been a starter for 4 years for Clemson at right tackle. Really good player all 4 years. Again, this is a little higher than I think he will go in the draft. But this board did not fall really well for the Detroit Lions right now. So I'm going to go with him here.
All right. I don't hate it. I think, I'm going to have to make the obvious pick here. And I think this breaks right, because otherwise I've been defaulting to receiver. You mentioned this before, Minnesota here at 18. I'm going to do it. We're going to replace Harrison Smith directly with Dylan Thieneman. I mean, we finished with him, number 8 on our top 100 or 9, somewhere in there. I mean, he's so good. He can do a little bit of everything, the explosive speed. He can play back free. I think he can do whatever Brian Flores wants him to do. I'm in on it. Like I said, defensive tackle would be a tough sell for me at 18. I think it's something we can work on with Minnesota later. We'll probably get him a running back later as well. But Dylan Thieneman's best player left on the board, and I'm in on it as a replacement for Harrison Smith for sure. I'm in on that.
Okay, Dylan Thiedemann going to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm up here with the Carolina Panthers.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Kenny Sadiq here. I think he's gonna go in the top 20. I'm gonna take him to the Panthers. I think they just want to add more weapons for Bryce Young. Sadiq's a freak athlete at tight end. I would not take him in the top 10 personally, but I think he is worthy of a first round pick in this draft. And I do think he's going in the top 20. So I think I'm gonna take him here to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I agree. Somebody's going to do it. I think somebody maybe even as high as 14 with Baltimore. They could pair him with Mark Andrews. They could do it. But the Panthers, I'll give them this. They need this type of tight end to mix it up in that room because they got a lot of blockers. They have Jatavian Sanders, who's just hasn't been great so far. He had some injuries last year, I believe, too. Sadiq just adds the element. They need more easy throws in that offense. It's too reliant on Bryce Young hitting all the deep shots. They need more easy throws. I think Sadiq could give them that. So it's a spot where, to me, this would be the very high end of his range, but I think it makes some sense.
Yep. All right. So you're up next.
Dallas. Do they chance it on McCoy? It feels like it's not going to happen now. Is it McNeil Warren? Is it Terrell? Is it a wild card like Jacob Rodriguez? Rumors they've been sniffing around receivers also, just as if they need any more. But we got David Bailey already. I think I'm going to lean back towards. I haven't done this a lot because I've been going the other way around and we weren't doing trades. I'm going to lean back into the secondary now. I think Dan Quinn, that he feels like somebody who'd like Emmanuel McNeil Warren, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying the guy's
so.
I'm not saying the guy's Cam Chancellor, but like if you're looking for that type of player, if Dan Quinn's looking for that type, not Dan, so I'm sorry, Dan Quinn's in Washington. I'm going too far back. Christian Parker needs a safety. My apologies, people. Dan Quinn's in Washington. I was going back to my old Seattle 3 theory. Either way, they need a safety. Christian Parker might like Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Dan Quinn might like him too. Who knows? We're going with it. McNeil Warren to Dallas, to their new defensive coordinator, not their old one.
Okay. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, the Toledo safety, joining his former teammate Quinyon Mitchell in the first round, be the third ever Toledo Rocket to go in the first round of the draft, which would be pretty cool right there. Emmanuel McNeil Warren, now, Dalton, your New York Jets are on the clock here at 21 overall.
Well,
think about receiver.
There's been a lot of noise about Omar Cooper, hasn't there?
Omar Cooper, I'm thinking about him. Do we think Ty Simpson?
No. If you, okay. I will actually leave. I will leave this stream if you pick Ty Simpson. I will leave. Okay. Do not do it.
Fair enough.
You will do the rest of this draft, and it will not be for Wi-Fi issues. You will, if you take Ty Simpson here, you will do the rest of this draft yourself. I will leave.
I kind of want to do it now.
No, you don't.
Okay, no, I'll go with I'll go with Omar Cooper. I think I've heard a lot of stuff about him to the Jets as well. So I'm gonna take him here, and I think this is probably the range we're going to go to, somewhere in the top 25. And now they just trade down. They still get a guy that they might have taken at 16 anyways, if they stuck there at 16. So I think this actually trade worked out pretty well for the Jets.
Reasonable. I can see it. I know it's been picked a lot at 16. If you told me they moved down and they got the extra third, and you know me, I'm not as quite a big a fan of Omar Cooper as a lot of other people putting him at 16 and in the top 20. But to get him and then an extra third round pick from Pittsburgh, I'm not going to kill that as much. I don't mind that at all. Chargers. Some interesting. Do I make a trade here? I could. Can we?
Oh, how likely do we think Jim Harbaugh will be in on Keldrick Falk? I think Jim Harbaugh will be in on Keldrick Falk there.
Well, the Browns already took a tackle. Okay, I'm not going to move up. I'm actually. Wow, just all the D linemen. Of all of those,
I feel like Keldrick Falk is a Jim Harbaugh type of player. I think.
Oh wow, because I like Mesidor better, but it sure feels like Falk is going top 25.
I think either of those two you can go with here, and it's totally fine. I think they're close enough, but
Falk's so much younger too, and he loves the He's gonna love the physicality in the run game, and he can do some different things with him too. Yeah, let's do it. It's not my favorite pick, but I think any of those guys make a lot of sense. And Falk, for as much as I resist against it, Falk is going to go top 25. The tools are just, they're going to get him taken there. Go ahead with Keldrick Falk, and the age questions with Mesidor make him a wild card as well. Could you go Mesidor here with Philly? I don't hate that. I wouldn't hate this pick if you could go offensive tackle, but I wouldn't hate it with Philly either.
I was probably going to lean Mesidor. Yeah, I was looking at that right now. I'm probably going to go Akeem Mesidor right now. I was kind of looking at some other guys too, like maybe they stopped the Jamal McCoy slide right here, but I don't think corner is that big of a need right now for Philadelphia. So I'm going to go with Akeem Mesidor here. I think he is going to go somewhere around this range, and they need help at edge rusher, I think, from Philadelphia right now. And Akeem Mesidor, coming off an amazing year this past year at Miami, probably a top 5 edge rusher in the country in college football this year. Even though there are, he's a little bit older, I still think he's worthy of being a first-round pick. So I'm taking him here to the Eagles.
But he adds the size and the run defense and everything. I mean, at 260, they don't have another edge player like this in their room right now. I'm in on that, especially for Philly, who's always such a win now team. And the other thing too at 23, there's going to be thoughts at receiver because they're going to trade AJ Brown. AJ Brown's going to be a Patriot. So
that's true.
The other guy I might have thought about there is Denzel Boston, because I think if you want a direct like one-on-one vertical AJ Brown sort of replacement, I think Boston could intrigue them, but they don't have to either. I mean, you can, if they love Mesidor, go take Mesidor, and they can find receivers later too.
Yeah, I'll lean Mesidor for now, but yeah, you're right. When they do trade AJ Brown, it seems like it'll be a when, not if. I think that Denzel Boston or someone else could be on the table there for them.
I am going to then come out of this pick for Cleveland at 24. We went with our tackle. We got a trade down. We got extra capital, 2027 second. Love that long-term project. I'm going to go with Denzel Boston here. This team, they need tackle. They need receiver. I come out of that plus some extra draft capital here, and there's more to work with the Browns as we get through this draft. But I like the idea of them having this one-on-one winner. They've got Isaiah Bond for speed. You've got Jerry Jeudy for underneath stuff. You've got Harold Fannin. Might even attack tight end later because I want somebody alongside Fannin, more of an inline traditional role. But Denzel Boston here, this would make a lot of sense. And he's another guy that, I think I might push him a little lower if it was a draft that I was doing. But this range here in the back end of the top 25 also makes sense to me. I think he makes sense for Cleveland.
Would you consider Casey Concepcion there? Because I know there's been a lot of hype for him there too at 24.
I think I would consider it. I think they're very close. They're two very different types of players, and the Browns just don't have like any size in the receiving room. So I could see it either way, but I think Boston is he's more likely to go first between the two of them.
Okay. I am up here with the Chicago Bears. I'm going to go with Peter Woods, the D tackle out of Clemson. I think he's probably going to be a late first round pick at this point, but I would take this guy probably still in the top 20 of the draft. As you can see, he is top 20 on the PFSN big board right now, but I agree with that. I think he is still worthy of being a top 20-ish pick in this draft. Still pretty clearly for me the best D tackle in the draft. And for a Bears defense that needs help along the interior of the defensive line, I think Peter Woods would be a really good penetrator for them in the defensive line. So I'm a big fan of Peter Woods still, even after a little bit of a down year. I'm going to still take him here at 25 to the Bears.
I feel that. All right, Buffalo at 26. I think Caden McDonald, I'm sure it's probably a consideration, but having Woods as your top guy, my top guy too. But depends what they're looking for. But that's definitely a position the Bears are going to attack at some point with these first 3 picks. We're going to get 2 second-round picks in with them also. So I think it makes a lot of sense, and they need help in the pass rush also. And I think there's more potential there with Woods than there is with McDonald. Depends on the priority, but that's solid stuff right there. I cannot blame the Bears for wanting to get better in the trenches.
Buffalo. All right, you're up next.
I think the Bills should be begging to trade out of this. There's a big gap. They don't pick until number 91. I think they should be begging to move down and get more. Can we pull up on the trades? Can we pull up the Arizona Cardinals? I'm going to make a Jackson Dart type of trade here. Where are the Cardinals at 34? I'm going to go. What do I have written down here? All right, Eli, here we go. On the Cardinals side, 34, 65, and 183. And then we're going to send back 26 and 91. Will it take that?
Yeah.
$34, 65, 183. So we drop down from, if you're the Cardinals, early to late 3rd round, and you give away I believe that's a 6 or maybe a late 5th at 183. And then we get up 8 spots to go, and we're going to get Ty Simpson here. Yeah, just throw something else from next year, and that's fine. But that's the structure that I would go with, because 34 and 65 is a little too much So I kind of had to wiggle it back and go, okay, how can we make that a little more fair in the mid rounds while the Bills still come out with an extra pick later on they can mess with. Um,
I'm with
so
that. Yeah.
that's what we're gonna go with. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna go with that, and then we'll have some fun. Then we get the Bills. Then we get the Bills at 34 and 65. I think having those two picks are gonna help them more than having 26 where they're at now in this dead zone, and then 91 later on. So we are gonna get the Cardinals into the first round from 34. We're going to take Ty Simpson and however they want to handle that quarterback situation, because I do think they're the most likely team to do this, as opposed to the Jets or maybe some other wild card. I think the Cardinals are the most likely team on Simpson, and I think the Bills should trade down. I think that's the perfect trade partner for him.
Yep, I'm with that. I think Ty Simpson makes a lot of sense there to Arizona. Unfortunately for Donnie, Donnie's not very happy in the chat right now, but I think he's like minus. I saw on one sportsbook have him like minus 200 to be drafted by the Cardinals right now, which is crazy right now for Ty Simpson. I'm up here with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm actually going to go with Casey Concepcion here, the wideout from Texas A&M. I think he is the after the catch guy that Kyle Shanahan needs right now on his offense. Obviously, Deebo Samuel's no longer there, and Brandon Ayuk is most likely on his way out too from San Francisco. I think Casey Concepcion would fit would be a different type of receiver in their offense alongside Mike Evans and Ricky Pearsall. So I'm okay with Concepcion here at 27 to the 49ers.
I'm in on that. To me, I've said it before. I'll say it again. If he's going to go first round, that's the team. That's the team right there. That's the team that needs that type of player. Mike Evans is one-on-one perimeter winner. Ricky Pearsall, he's going to win vertically and more in the intermediate range, as long as he's healthy out there. Concepcion is somebody who re-adds the after-the-catch element back to that offense. It's just been missing for the last 2 years, and Jawan Jennings is still nowhere. I don't know what the deal is with that, but they need a dynamic player like Casey in their offense. I love that.
All right, 28 overall. The Houston Texans, what are you going to do here?
This comes down to two guys for me. It's either on the offensive side, Emmanuel Pregnon, or it's Caden McDonald. I would love to see Caden McDonald in this defense. You talk about an even front nose guard who you just are not going to run between the tackles on. You throw Caden McDonald in this defense, I don't know where you're going to run the football on the Houston Texans. I'm serious, man. I think I'm going to go with this. I think McDonald's going to go before Pregnon. Definitely interior offensive line is something I still want to work on with Houston, but to get this big run stopper in there with Will Anderson, with Daniil Hunter, with Tommy Togiai, with Sheldon Rankins, with the rest of it. That's the best defense in football, and you're just adding more into it with this. Yeah, I'm in. Give me Caden McDonald from Ohio State. We'll get another 5 Ohio State players we're getting now in the first round. I'm in on it.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. That's probably the pick I would go with there too. I think Caden McDonald's more likely to be a first round pick than Emmanuel Pregnon right now. Is probably going to come off the board somewhere in the top 50 for us in this mock draft. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I think Caden McDonald is certainly a guy that could be on the board there for Houston and what could be an elite defensive line. So I love that pick there. All right, I have Kansas City now. We took Mansour Delane earlier for the Chiefs at number 9 overall. I think what I'm going to do here is probably look to TJ. I want to go with TJ Parker here, the edge rusher out of Clemson. I think he's probably going to sneak his way into the first round. I think he's going to be a guy that he's a heavy-handed power 4 edge rusher, and we know that with the Chiefs, with George Karlaftis and Ashton July, those are the type of edge rushers that they kind of look for in their defense. I think TJ Parker kind of fits that mold too in Kansas City. So I want to go with TJ Parker here, the edge rusher out of Clemson. I do think he'll end up being a first-round pick.
I'm in on that. I think the Chiefs to come out of this first round with the top corner and a really solid edge rusher that they just need more help on that defensive line. That's a really good call. I'm in on that, man. I think that defense, Steve Spagnuolo is going to want some elite pieces on that defense again. He's got a few in there already. Obviously, Chris Jones is still really good. The linebackers are really good, but they need help at these two positions. So to come out at 9 and 29 like that, that's good stuff. And you're picking again at 40, and you can continue to supplement whichever way you want to go. That's great stuff right there. I think the Chiefs, that's an A first round for them.
I appreciate it. Can I make a suggestion for you here at 30?
I think I know the direction you're going, but feel free.
I think you got to take Jermon McCoy here.
Ooh, have to. Wow.
I think they took Mekhi Lemon earlier for us. This is a team that there's rumors that Jermon McCoy might even miss the entirety of this upcoming season. But for the Dolphins, man, you're not going to be competing next year either. So you can afford to wait a year for Jermon McCoy to get there. You get Mekhi Lemon and Jermon McCoy. Like I said, their receiving room and their secondary right now are the worst in football. If you get those two in there And of course, McCoy's medicals are huge, but this is a team that I just look at that and look at the way the board is right now. I'm almost like, dude, you have to do it. You have to take this player if you're Miami. That's what I would do, at least.
Because I was in my head, I was like, do I go the other way and I take Avion Terrell and not take the gamble and maybe get a little bit less of a ceiling? But you know what? I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it, Max, because the same position. I figured that's where you were going. That's a fun one. That's a fun one there. If that works, Jeff Hafley's going to feel really, really good about himself in that defense 3 years down the line, but it just has to work. He's got to be healthy. And you're right. I mean, corners with injuries, we saw it last year. They fall. And McCoy very well could fall to this spot or even lower. He's the toughest one to predict right now.
If he does need a redshirt year, though, like this is almost the perfect team for him to have a redshirt year for. If someone's like, hey, we don't care. We're not going to be competing this year. Let's get you in for year 2 in 2027, right? Where we can be hopefully a much better team and hopefully you could be on the field for us too and become the great player that we think you can be. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins, I wouldn't take him at 11 right now because of the injury history, but if he falls to 30, man, I think he is well worthy of being a swing for the fences there if you're Miami. All right, I am up here with the New England Patriots. They're most likely going to trade for A.J. Brown, so I think that receiver need is no longer as big as you can see on the mock draft simulator. But we'll see. We'll see what happens if they do actually get A.J. Brown in there. Could go with the tackle here. I'm kind of looking at
– boy, if we don't get Ionicher in this first round, it'd be kind of wild because he's one that there's a lot of first-round buzz on him, and this would be a great place for him, to me, to sit for a year. If he could sit – if Ionicher could sit for a year and just develop, boy, he could be something in New England.
That's exactly where I was looking to for that same exact reason. I'm going to take Ionicher here. I don't think it'll be Caleb Lomu, who I know is higher on the big board there, and probably will be drafted a little bit higher than Ionicher, but also like Caleb Lomu plays left tackle. I don't know if he's got right tackle flexibility. Don't know if you want to have that situation with Will Campbell there right now. So I'm going to go with Max Ionicher, who I think will be a first-round pick, probably sneak his way into the first round. And like you said, man, sit behind Morgan Moses for a year or two and then take over and be the tackle duo of Will Campbell and Max Ionicher. I think that could be really, really fun in New England. So I think it's a perfect scenario for him to be there at 31 overall.
So Seattle at 32, that leaves me with here. I could go something in the secondary, but I'm like, they only have 4 picks total in this draft. I'm kind of begging. Buffalo and Seattle are my 2 teams that I'm like, man, trade out and get a little bit more.
What do you think of? I've seen a lot of mocks recently, Dalton, with Jadarian Price going 32.
No, I'm not.
I don't even agree with it, but I'm just saying that is a possibility.
It's this running back class, and that is such a hard no for me. I don't know that I would take another back unless I loved him at 64 for this team. But you could sell me on that because Seattle's so good; they just won the Super Bowl. That's drafting any running back at 32 in this class is a hard no for me. No. I'm just not. No. I do have one more trade idea that I kind of like. Can we pull up the Houston Texans and give Seattle 38 and 106 for this pick? Find a way, or if you wanted to throw in another 7th or whatever nonsense you needed to, find a way to push that through if we can. Because I get an extra pick there, at least a round 4 pick for John Schneider and the Seahawks. We're only moving down 6 spots. It has been accepted. Outstanding. 38 and 106 for this. And I'm going to get the other guy that I was talking about with a 5th-year option ahead of the Jets and Bills and Titans and a bunch of teams here that could take him. I'm going to take Emmanuel Pregnon here at 32.
Okay.
So the two guys I talked about for the Houston Texans, Emmanuel Pregnon and Caden McDonald, I'm getting both of them. That to me for 2 later first-round picks, very late first-round picks, that's an A+ for me for the Houston Texans. I love that. And I think Pregnon, he could have a chance for him. I mean, maybe they brought in Wyatt Teller. They kept Ed Ingram. Maybe he wouldn't start right away, but Teller's older and has had some injuries. I'm in on this. This is even for the long-term play in the trenches. I would love to get both of these guys in Houston. If Pregnon got to 38 without the trade even, sure, but I bet in the next few teams we would have taken one of us would have taken him.
Yeah. Yeah, we're starting moving to the 2nd and 3rd round now.
I'm not doing as many trades here on day 2. I have one in mind that's like later on, but we can start buzzing through day 2 here because it's going to just be like, who do you like for what team?
Yeah, I'm up here with the Jets. Are Arvell Reese and Omar Cooper were our first 2 picks there. Reese most likely playing edge rusher for the Jets. So we got a receiver and we got an edge rusher. I wouldn't take a quarterback here. Obviously, with Simpson off the board. I mean, Colton Hood is still here too.
Yeah.
Or Avion Terrell is still here.
You know me, I love Terrell and Pons, but I have a feeling if he's going heavy on the man-to-man with him calling the plays, he might like Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Colton Hood. I'm going to do Colton Hood here. I think he fits the defense a little bit better for Aaron Glenn. So I'm going to go with Colton Hood, who I think actually might get drafted above Avion Terrell at this point too. So I'm going to go with him here.
All right. I could see the case. I could see the case with this system fit might work for them. Buffalo here. What did we do for? Oh, we traded out. Okay, we got more picks. Love that. Okay. All right, who do we think is going first, C.J. Allen or Jacob Rodriguez?
I would lean C.J. Allen.
C.J. Allen to Buffalo then. I'm in on it. Put him with Terrell Bernard. Just stabilize yourself in the middle of that defense. So in on it. Oh, I have a suggestion here too. I have a suggestion here too. Because what did we do for Tennessee? We went Jeremiah Love. Oh, you could go off the edge. Or I think a system fit here is Chris Johnson. And Chris Johnson's been getting hype. Like top 40 first round hype. I think if there's a system Chris Johnson could go to and actually be really good, it's Salas.
Yeah, I think he's been getting a lot of first round hype. You've even seen for Miami even. Yeah, screw it. Let's do it. Let's do Chris Johnson to Tennessee here. I think it makes sense at least.
Because I think you could get a pass rusher at the top of the third there for Tennessee. All right, we're back to the Raiders. We're finally to Walt's Raiders. Love that. We got a quarterback. We haven't really done many of multi-round mocks, so I'm like, I wonder what Walt. Let's see. Tackle, new right tackle. We still have Caleb Lomu on the board.
Yeah.
Guard, receiver, D tackle. I would Kristen. Yeah.
Yeah, I would lean Lomu though. I think Lomu's gonna be a first round pick, so I think we should get him off the board.
Okay. Yeah, let's get Lomu. Let's get Lomu and slide him over. And if I was a Giants fan, considering the draft that you've had so far, I would beg for Kristen Miller. Could you imagine doing all this and getting Kristen Miller to replace Dexter Lawrence?
Yeah, that's what I'm to do here. Exactly what I'm going to do. Take Kristen Miller. I think that's
so
the guy I'm so in on. I think Kristen Miller's a first round. I think Kristen Miller's a first round prospect in this draft. So I am really. Now PFSN has him as that too. So shout out to them. But yeah, I think Kristen Miller, man, he's probably a little bit lower than people think, but. Yeah, I'm in on Kristen Miller here to the Giants.
Dude, Sonny Styles, Jordan Tyson
still here too. I think he might.
Sonny Styles, Jordan Tyson, Kristen Miller. That's a disgusting first 3 picks for the Giants. That's unreal. Anyway, Seattle 38. We traded down. We got an extra 4th. That's fine. I'm leaning Avion Terrell here. I think we just go with the depth at corner, the versatility. It's the type of player they like. I know some might think it's redundant to Witherspoon, but I think it's just, it's Mike McDonald loves these guys, man. How could you not love this secondary and love it more with Terrell? Yeah, give me Avion Terrell at 38, Seattle.
All right, 38 overall. Avion Terrell comes off the board, the cornerback out of Clemson. I'm up here with the Cleveland Browns, who took Denzel Boston and Monroe Freeling so far in this mock draft. Some ways I could go here.
Go with a nose guard. Go with a linebacker.
You know what I might do? I might go to the. Yeah, I could go linebacker. I actually might go to the interior offensive line though. A guy that's getting a lot of buzz lately is Chase Basantes. I think people are really high on him in this class, and I know we took Monroe Freeling already, but I think Cleveland needs help at a lot of spots on the offensive line. So I'm going to take Chase Basantes here to the Browns.
Tell you why I like that, because what you can do there is you could start both rookies, and I know it's always dangerous to do that, but hey, New England they made a Super Bowl last year doing it. You can plug in Basantes at guard and move Elgin Jenkins to center. He's played plenty of center in his career. I think that gives them a lot of flexibility for what they want to do there. I don't hate that at all. You got 2 offensive line starters and a receiver. Yeah, I'm in on that with the Browns' first 3 picks. Chiefs.
All right, you're up here with the Chiefs at 40.
What is it? You went Parker and Delane. There's not an offensive player I love here. Like Chris Bell. Do I go 3 straight picks? We haven't done offensive line yet, but this is where the drop-off really is here on the O-line. AJ Halsey? Trying to think because they got Gilman. They don't need AJ Sowers. I think it's. Damn, this is tough. Chiefs are a hard one. I know, Eli. I'm taking too long. Receiver. Max Crispell or Jeremy Bernard?
Probably Chris Bell.
Okay. We're going to go with it. Chiefs take a talent play. Guy coming off an ACL. They need to get vertical outside somehow, some way. Bengals at 41. Oh, boy.
All right. Bengals at 41. Eli, actually, you have a call here? Who is it? Oh, J-Rod? All right. Let's go Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Let's do Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect.
Oh, love that.
Let's do J-Rod for Eli and his Bengals.
Jacob Rodriguez running free behind Dexter Lawrence. Oh, I'm in. I'm suddenly in on the Bengals defense.
That's a first-round talent. You traded away your first-round pick right there. So I'm in on that.
I'm super in on that. All right, Saints. All right. What did we do for the Saints?
Saints at 42.
The Saints got Carnell Tate. Okay, so I could do a lot of different things here. I could go D'Angelo Pont. Oh, no. Actually, the Saints, you know what? The Saints are a good team to take this swing on Caleb Banks.
Yeah. I was thinking that one too.
I'm doing that. I mean, I like Lee Hunter, but I think with the way that Staley mixes up the fronts and just the Saints, they so badly need help on the inside. This is a good place for a second-round swing on Caleb Banks. Give me him to New Orleans. I'm doing that because I just think Staley, 5-man fronts, he can go head up. He's great there. I think there's the similarities of, at times, to me, Derek Brown when he's on, and the highlights are obviously great. It's just got to get more consistent, but Saints have to get better between the tackles. I think Banks is a good upside play for them, and I think Mickey Loomis would really think about his tools.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Caleb Banks probably is a second-round pick now after getting a lot of first-round hype originally, but I think he's a guy that probably would still go around top 45-ish of the draft. And, yeah, for the Saints, that makes a lot of sense to take him there. All right, the Dolphins. We took Jermon McCoy and Mekhi Lemon for this team right now. I'm kind of looking, Dalton, more towards the offensive line now for Miami. Zion Young is still here, too. That could be a good call for
that's a good fit. I mean, Zion Young or a guy that's in this range that somebody's going to take is a Keelan Rutledge.
That's exactly the guy I'm into. I'll go.
You know what?
Keelan Rutledge. I think he's getting a lot of hype right now. I'm going to go with him.
You know, another one we've kind of left off the board a little bit and is in this range too with Malachi Lawrence too.
Tasha Howell's still here too.
Yeah. I think Lawrence goes ahead of Howell. I love Howell, but the size
I don't know.
They're going to these GMs are going to tweak about the size. Relatable. I think so you're going
I'll
Rutledge?
Go with Rutledge. I'm going to go with Rutledge here for now and take him here. I'll go Keelan Rutledge.
Okay, so far for the Jets we have Reese, Cooper, Hood. That solves a lot of problems. I don't hate that. Rutledge off the board. I think they would have thought about that. I'm going to go back to a guy I've been taking a good amount with this pick. I'll take AJ Halsey here. Seems like the Jets are going to pass on Caleb Downs. I passed on Thieneman in the teens and 20s. I'll go with Halsey here and get another safety that can play alongside Minka and Malachi Moore, and you still have Andre Sisco on a one more year. I think Halsey's a nice second-round target here, especially if the Jets stay at this pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, Baltimore here.
This is a great Malachi Lawrence spot.
Malachi Lawrence, Young, even like a Lee Hunter, I think makes sense for this team.
Yeah, they seem to get positive news on Matabike and the neck injury, so they might feel
okay. Good. Okay, I missed that then.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what, man? Screw it. I'm going to take Cassius Howell. I think someone takes a shot at Cassius Howell. I think Baltimore could be the team that does it. I'm going to do it. I think he still finds his way top 50 in the draft, even with the arm length concern. So I'm going to take him here to the Ravens.
All right. I am going to go with a guy that I really like here in the second round for the Bucs. You got Jacob Rodriguez off the board, but I don't mind this player one bit dropping to them here at 46. Give me Jake Golday out of Cincinnati Bearcat. Got some flexibility, former edge player, really good in coverage. I think coming away in the second round or in these first two picks with an edge rusher of some sort and either Rodriguez or Golday would be a really good draft for the Bucs. I'm in on that, and he would not get any lower than this because I would definitely take Golday to Indianapolis if he were on the board. I wouldn't get another shot at him. So Jake Golday in Tampa, I'm in on.
Yep, I'm with that too. All right, the Colts are on the board here with their first pick of the draft, actually. I actually think I'm going to go with Anthony Hill Jr. I think he's going to be a guy that comes off the board pretty relatively early. I'm trying to see if anyone else in this class that would make sense here, like maybe a corner. I'm going to go with Anthony Hill Jr. I think he's got to go somewhere top 50. I think Indianapolis would be a team that could be really in on him, considering their need for linebackers right now. So I'm going to go with Anthony Hill Jr. here to the Colts.
Reasonable. I don't hate that at all. I am going to go with Atlanta. I am going to go with one of my favorite players in the draft. We got some needs in Atlanta. Receiver makes sense, but I think there's more depth. I'm going to do that in round 3. I'm going to go with D'Angelo Pons here, the Falcons. If they want to go inside outside with him, fine. They lost D. Alford in free agency in the slot, but they still only have Mike Hughes starting across from AJ Terrell. I think he'd be a really nice fit. I think Jeff Ulbrich would love this guy down in Atlanta. Give me D'Angelo Pons. I'll work on receiver a little bit later on.
Okay. I'm guessing it's my Wi-Fi is cutting out a little bit, not yours, Dalton.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I think that's a good pick. I think D'Angelo Pons is a first-round player.
We're good. We're halfway through. We're gonna make it.
Okay. All right. Hopefully we do. I like D'Angelo Pons first-round player though, so I'm with you on that. Okay. I'm up next here at 49 with the Vikings.
If you wanted to, you could think about a running back. If you wanted to. I think a Lee Hunter could make some sense here too.
Yeah. I think D tackle's their biggest need right now. But also, like you said, Jadarian Price is still on the board here, and I think he might. Yeah, I'm gonna go Jadarian Price. I'm gonna pull the trigger here. I think he's gonna go somewhere in the top 50.
Again, I'm not a huge fan of taking really any of these backs in the first 2 rounds outside of Love. But if there's a place where Price could go to and succeed, I actually think Minnesota or Seattle are the 2 for me with him.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think Price goes higher than people think. Like I would not be shocked if he snuck in there at 32 to the Seahawks. But I think he goes somewhere top 50. So I'm going to say he goes here to the Vikings.
I would throw a fit if Seattle. I'm not even a Seahawks fan, and I would throw a fit if they did that. I just would not understand it one bit. There's just not another back to me that's worth that pick in this class. Detroit, we went O-line, right? You went Blake Miller first. Okay.
I think this board fell perfectly to you. Yeah, as some edge rusher like Zion Young or Malachi Lawrence make a lot of sense.
I know. Do I bank on the floor of Young or the ceiling of Lawrence?
I think either or. I think Young goes before Lawrence, but they're close enough though where it doesn't really matter.
All right. We're gonna have a plan. We're gonna have a plan here. I'm getting layered here with this approach with having all these teams. All right, Zion Young, Detroit at 50.
Okay.
Edge defender, tackle. I think those are their 2 most likely picks in some order in the first 2 are edge defender and tackle for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're up here with the Panthers.
It's gonna be a Lee Hunter.
Kenyon Sadiq
already. Spot. Lee Hunter.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Lee Hunter. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Lee Hunter. I don't love the way this offensive tackle class kind of fell here, so I'm gonna go Lee Hunter here to the Panthers. Just add another big body next to Derek Brown on the defensive line.
All right, I'm gonna go now with Green Bay. Now with Malachi Lawrence. They need more, aside from Parsons, they just need more explosiveness in that room. It's basically the exact opposite approach they took from Lucas Van Ness, but they've got to find a way to bulk up this pass rush. And Lawrence, I like him better in this range. He might go higher. He might go first round. I do understand the ceiling of him. He needs development. It's a place where he doesn't have to start And I mean, you can learn from the best there in Micah Parsons and really get things going. And Jonathan Gannon can mess around with the fronts there with all three of those guys, and Parsons playing wherever he feels like on any given snap. So I think it's a good spot for Lawrence, and it's a good pick. Consider that's the Packers' first pick of this draft. They need help in the trenches on both sides, really, really badly. And just the offensive line didn't shake for him necessarily. I like Lawrence there.
All right.
Lee Hunter for Carolina there.
All right, I'm up here with the Steelers. Took Caden Proctor earlier for them.
Jeremy Bernard, go receiver.
Could go receiver.
Keontae Scott feels like a Steeler to me too.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the safeties that are available too.
There's a lot of trading Stooks hype. It's in the week of trading Stooks on Twitter.
There's a lot of trading Stooks hype. Yeah, he kind of feels like a Steeler too. I'm gonna go. Yeah, you know what? Let's do Jeremy Bernard. I think he fits that receiver room. I like Chris Brazzell. He's a talented player. It's another big body though in that receiver room right now. I'm gonna go with Jeremy Bernard instead because I think he brings a different element to what DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman Jr. bring to that room.
All right. I think that's perfectly reasonable. I think it's a good place where Bernard can just go and be a role player and do some different things, especially with Rodgers and the low average depth of target and making plays happen after the catch. I don't mind that. All right. We went Mesidor for the Eagles in round 1. Couple of thoughts here. Is it tight end, Stowers, Claire, somebody like that?
Good.
Or
I think Stowers.
Or am I just going right for the A.J. Brown replacement with a Chris Brazzell? A.J. Brown's getting traded.
Yeah.
I could go Brazzell and just get vertical in that sense and get him one-on-one outside. You've got Hollywood Brown. You've got Dontavian Wicks. I don't love them as like vertical threats. Brown, that's supposed to be what he is, but he's never healthy and he's small. Like a Chris Brazzell, considering Jalen Hurts and how much he just loves to throw the go balls, that could make a lot of sense to me. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Chris Brazzell here. We're just prepping ahead. We're prepping ahead for A.J. Brown getting traded. That's going to happen in June. Somebody at receivers got you can't. To me, if they walk in with Devontae and Hollywood and Dontavian Wicks, I don't think that's a great receiving core. I'm just being honest with you. They need something else.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Brazzell goes somewhere in this range too. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Like you said, he kind of fits the mold of what Jalen Hurts wants in a receiver as a downfield weapon. So I think that'd be a great pick there for them. All right, I'm up here with the LA Chargers.
There's a certain guy I'm going to beg you to take here.
Who is it?
Jennings Dunker.
Yeah, because we just took Keldrick Falk. I was looking back what we took for them.
It's him as a guard in that system. That should work. That's the ideal spot. Jennings Dunker and the Chargers is an ideal spot.
Make sure
I might consider borderline sprinting this card in.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else, but there's no one else really in this O-line class that I love there. So yeah, let's do Jennings Dunker. I think it makes a lot of sense for if they run a lot of outside zone there in LA. I think Jennings Dunker would be a perfect fit there as a guard in that system. So yeah, let's do it. Jennings Dunker to the Chargers. You're up here with the Jaguars, and what is their first pick of the draft on?
There's a couple of places I could go with this. We kind of feel like trading Stooks is kind of this hybrid nickel safety thing that can kind of move around, right?
Yeah.
I don't love him as much as consensus, but he's probably going to go from what it sounds like in this range. And I keep doing this thing because there's no linebackers I love here. We kind of had a run of linebackers. I keep doing this thing where I'm like, who are they going to replace Andrew Wingard with? Which I know it sounds crazy and super like in depth, but like he was kind of a valuable piece when it came to the flexibility of their defense. Maybe I don't know how much they believe in Caleb Ransaw after he didn't play at all last year. I'm going to go with Traden Stooks here and try to fill in that kind of strong safety, nickel-ish, flexible type of role that they lose with Wingard and get some even if you've got some competition going when you talk about him and Caleb Ransaw or whatever's going on there on the inside with Antonio Johnson. I don't mind this as a fit. I thought about a D lineman, like say an R. Mason Thomas or somebody like that. You might even go with him here to the Bears, but I'll go Traden Stooks to Jacksonville.
All right, Traden Stooks, who's been getting a lot of love on Twitter lately. I'm with you. One of the best slot corners in the draft. And yeah, I can play a little safety for you too, I think, for Jacksonville too. So I like that. Bears here. kind of thinking about it.
Peter Woods earlier. Is there another?
Could
Would
do
you
R. Mason Thomas.
dip into a safety, R. Mason Thomas?
I don't love the way the safety board fell here.
I don't either. Josh Joseph's your guy. Derek Moore.
I think in a predictive mock, Josh Joseph is not going this high. Let's go R. Mason Thomas. I think he's the next edge off the board after the guys we took already. So let's go with him here. I think he's a great pass rusher. Maybe he's a designated pass rusher at the NFL level, but even if he is just that, he could be a really damn good one. So let's go with him here to Chicago. I think he could be a really, really fun pass rusher in that system for them.
I could see that. 49ers. R. Mason Thomas to Chicago there. Oh, the 49ers. You already went receiver. We went Concepcion. I like that. I think I'm going to go with a guy because we have to remember now that Raheem Morris is their defensive coordinator and not Robert Saleh anymore. So there's going to be a little more mix on these fronts. I'm going to go with a guy that I think maybe it's redundant to Mykel Williams. Maybe they could mess around with it or what. I'm going to keep getting better on this defensive line. I'm going to go Gabe Akis out of Illinois for the 49ers here. They just need to find any sort of pass rush. I don't know what Mykel's going to look like coming off the knee injury. Obviously, he's going to play a big role, but I think Akis and the versatility that he has, I think Raheem Morris might be appreciative of that. Maybe I'll work interior offensive line in the third round, but I don't mind Akis there as a system fit.
No, neither do I. I think he's a big-bodied edge rusher that would fit really well in the defense too. So I'm with that right there. All right, I'm next up here with the Texans. We took Emmanuel Pregnon earlier for them. I don't think we've given him a D tackle yet, right? No.
We did. I took McDonald and Proctor.
Oh, sorry.
And Pregnon. I did the trade. I have McDonald and Pregnon.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
I'll tell you a fun one. I think you could go linebacker. Josiah Travers. I was just going to say it. Eli Stowers would be him, because you've got like Cade Stover and some other ancillary options, but like Stowers with Dalton Schultz signed, and he's going to play the traditional role as well as he does. He's awesome. To put Eli Stowers in and just mess around with it, this could be a mess around team for Eli Stowers. I don't hate this.
Yeah, let's do it. I think Eli Stowers is probably going to go somewhere top 50. So this is actually a pretty fun landing spot here for Houston. Not the one that I've seen a lot for him lately, but I think this could be a possibility for Eli Stowers. Yeah, let's do Eli Stowers here, the tight end of Vanderbilt to the Houston Texans here at 59.
All right. Bears are up again. I'm taking this Bears pick, and you've gone D-line with both picks, right?
Yes.
Yes, Woods and R. Mason Thomas. I could go with another receiver. I could go with a Josiah Trotter and keep going in the front seven. They have Kobe Bryant. I'm going to reach down for a little bit. What are the Bears? Oh, they're picking 89. I don't know if this guy's getting there. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to mess around a little bit and take a free safety. I don't know if he goes this high. I'm taking the chance. I think he's a good fit with Kobe Bryant already there and the rest of the secondary. Give me Genesis Smith out of Arizona.
Oh,
I'm going there. I'm going with him in the same role, I should say, that Julian Love kind of played for Seattle next to Kobe Bryant. I think just that pure free safety role, the Kevin Byard role, where he can just sit back. I think he could do that in this defense because the rest of the secondary is complete. You've got Gordon in the slot. You've got Bryant. You've got the corners. I'm going to give me Genesis Smith at 60 here to the Bears. It could start right away for them at free safety if they do it right. Dennis Allen needs that backbone kind of player. I think he can't tackle, but if you want a Kalen Bullock type of backbone free safety, I'd be in on Genesis Smith. I'm going there.
All right, Genesis Smith comes off the board here. I love it. I think Genesis Smith is an awesome football player, and I think he's a guy that could be a lot of fun there. Here with the Rams, we took Spencer Fano. That was the only pick we took so far for LA. I mean, Brandon Cisse keeps falling here, man. I know corner's not as big of a need anymore for them.
That's nice value.
But I think I'm going to go with him.
You can never have too many. And Cisse can play inside a little bit if you want him to.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him here. I think he's going to be a top 40, top 45 pick in the draft. So you get him here at 61 overall. I think it's a steal for LA. So yeah, I'm going to take Brandon Cisse here. I'm not as big of a fan of Cisse as other people are, but I mean, we've heard first round talk for Cisse before too. So I'm going to take him here to the Rams at 61 overall.
I like that. I'm in on that. The Denver Broncos. We haven't had the Broncos yet because they have Jalen Waddle. This is their only pick in this draft. Wow. Or in this mock that we're doing in the first 3 rounds. How about it? Maybe a trade down spot. Denver. I feel like offense, like a weapon, right? Receiver or tight end, like Max Clare is a thought for me. Oh, we don't have Elijah Surratt off the board. No, well, they have Jalen Waddle. What am I saying? They don't need a receiver. I'm kind of leaning in on Max Clare. Is there anything else you can think of? Maybe D-line, but I think Max Clare.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think Clare goes this high? He probably goes top 75-ish, right?
I can see this. I can see this being the range. I don't have an issue with this.
Okay. Yeah, I think
I'm gonna go Max Clare. I know they signed Adam Troutman to another 3-year deal for some reason. I'm gonna go Clare. They need help with that tight end room, man. They got to find somebody in that room who can catch the football.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Max Clare. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Max Clare, Denver Bronco.
All right, Max Clare. I'm a huge fan of him. I actually had him somewhere in my top 50, I think, in this draft. I think he is a really good tight end prospect that just got underutilized at Ohio this past year, but you could tell by his Purdue tape, man, that he could be a starting tight end in the NFL, be a really good one at that too. So I'm with you on that one. Patriots, they took Maxi Inachor earlier in this draft. Here,
and the fun part is
the Derek Moore fit. I kind of like it a lot.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I think loading up on the D line makes some sense. Like a run stopper inside, like a Big Citrus, or something off the edge to get like another pass rusher in there. Because here's the thing: we're not going to take a receiver here for New England because they're getting AJ Brown.
Right.
So I
wouldn't do Derek
Moore's good.
I think Derek Moore. Derek Moore is a 2nd-round pick prospect for me, a high one at that too. So I'm gonna take him here. I think it's kind of the range where he's gonna go like late 2nd round too. So I'm gonna take him here to the Patriots. Dalton, you're up here with the Seahawks with the final pick of the 2nd round of our 3-round mock draft.
All right, I got Avion Terrell earlier. The Seahawks have such a luxury that, except for like running back, how high do see even Mike Washington? I don't like it here.
I think he goes somewhere in this range though. I do.
Oh, man,
I think someone's gonna force it. I really do. Hecht
for Sam Hecht. So we're going to move Sundell to guard? I mean, Sundell's not terrible. If he could slide over to guard, he might have some flexibility. We'll make a chat. You want to make a chat pick here, Max?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Sam Hecht. Yeah.
Let's make a chat pick. We haven't got that. We got to get it. We'll get a chat pick. 3rd round, end of the 2nd, 3rd round, especially. Yeah, let's get.
Sam Hecht fools, he says. Wow.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, we're not fools anymore.
We have to take him.
We took him. We're not fools anymore. You got the Bills. And I think this is interesting because we went CJ Allen already. I think you could easily convince me here of either a wide receiver or a safety.
Yeah.
Oh, D tackle could work too if you wanted it.
Took CJ Allen, so like Josiah Trotter is no longer an option.
No. Bryce Lance? Elijah Surratt? We haven't got him. We didn't get him off the board.
Yeah, I'm just looking through right now. Oh man, what I might do, I don't know if I should do this one actually.
I was thinking about
Zachariah Branch. I was thinking about Zachariah Branch, but by the way, that whole police report, Dalton, that came out, I don't know if you read it. It looks like complete BS in my opinion. So I don't think that's going to affect him too much, honestly. But I just don't know if he fits that offense really well. I'm going to go. Elijah Surratt makes sense. I'm going to do? I'm actually going to go to the edge rusher position and take Denai Dennis Sutton. I think he's going to go somewhere early 3rd round. I think he fits
your guy going.
Yeah. Let's do Denai Dennis Sutton to the Bills here.
Getting a Penn Stater going. Okay. I got you. All right. We have so far gone running back corner. Jeremiah Love, Chris Johnson for Tennessee. I'm kind of itching for an edge rusher. I'm going to get your guy, Josh Josephs, off the board here to Tennessee. I think Saleh takes the swing feeling like he could develop him. He's going to be itching for an edge rusher with the Tennessee Titans.
It's true.
Oh, good call. Yeah. Call. Oh, yeah. Just across the state. Yeah. Not bad. Do you just have to take Elijah Surratt to the Raiders just to do it?
That's exactly what I was looking to.
Right. We're still a college show here. We got to get the vibes up here.
Mendoza, that's a good call. That's exactly what I was thinking. I think that Mendoza probably will be breaking down the door of the draft room to Las Vegas if Elijah Surratt was still here at 67 overall, and he could reunite with him in Las Vegas. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do here at 67 with Elijah Surratt going to the Raiders.
Love it. I'm gonna make a value pick here for Philadelphia. I'm gonna take Keith Abney here. Let's get some depth going in corner. They've got Tariq Woolen on a 1-year deal, but like to still build for the future at this position that's a Howie Roseman kind of move, I think, to just keep building for the future. I know he generally likes bigger corners, and Abney doesn't have great size. Maybe eventually there's nickel versatility if you want to move, but I think just take a talented player and deal with it later. Give me Keith Abney to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Love it. Keith Abney comes off the board. Texans up here. We got Cade McDonald, Emmanuel Pregnon, and Eli Stowers already for the. Go ahead.
Can I throw a name at you? I'm going to throw a name at you. It's a position that you mentioned before, or at least one of us mentioned before, and it didn't make sense. I'm going to throw a name. I'm going to throw Kyle Lewis at you for this team.
Ooh, that could be fun in that defense. Yeah.
Because to me, like Alshire, you've got EJ Speed. I think they still not Christian Harris.
You don't think Josiah Trotter? I think it's a little redundant to what they have already.
Trotter is redundant. Yeah. Trotter is like you take him if you're getting rid of Alshire at some point. You would never do that to an FAU legend. Kyle Lewis, like this is a place where I could see him on passing downs coming in and playing alongside. Like Alshire's got the green dot, but coming in as just the coverage player and having this level of flexibility. Kyle Lewis is a player. The system isn't necessarily the best fit for all of his usage, but the pure coverage ability and speed can work here.
Do we think the only other one I'll say is, I know they got David Montgomery in there, but do we think Mike Washington could be an option too? That was the only other player I was looking at for them too. Or maybe a third receiver. I know they got Jalen Knowles, they're kind of slot receiver right now, but.
Yeah, and they have Higgins, they have Collins. You could think about receiver. You could always add more. I think I would lean Kyle Lewis. That's just me.
Okay, let's go Kyle Lewis. I like Kyle Lewis call out.
You could get another complimentary receiver later. We don't have another Houston pick in this draft, but like round 4 or whatever they have later, you could find something. And you know me, we like those Iowa State guys, so it's like, yeah. Cleveland here at 70. We've been loading up on offense. Big time. I'm going to take somebody, though, that I think might just be able to help them. I'm going to go defense. We're going to go defense. Give me Keontae Scott.
Like that.
Cleveland Browns, Keontae Scott. We're pretty good on the outside. We've got Denzel Ward. We've got Tyson Campbell. I think get me a nickel in there who can really battle, especially in run defense and just kind of play that two-way role for you. I think it's going to be less of a man-to-man system than it was under Jim Schwartz. They were leading the league in man coverage last year. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a different defense. I'll take Keontae Scott. I like the value here. I think he's a starting nickel right away.
Yeah, I'm with you. Keontae Scott makes a lot of sense there, I think, for them. All right, I'm up here with the Commanders. We took Caleb Downs earlier. I think I might look towards the offensive side of the ball.
This might be a receiver.
Receiver or even Mike Washington, too. I mean,
they lost Chris Rodriguez. They've got Krosky. I would go receiver over Washington. If there's anything I've learned the last, especially week or two, going through all of these and looking at different things in mocks, I hate this running back class.
I know you hate it, but in a predictive mock, though, I do think Mike Washington goes pretty higher than we think.
This is true. And Washington does make sense. And there's more depth at receiver than running back. They could get into it later and all that too. I guess the same.
Let's do Mike Washington. I think if they're in on Jeremiah Love, they probably would be in on Mike Washington at 71 overall, honestly. So let's do that there.
We are back to Eli's Cincinnati Bengals. We've got J Vikings 74 in the comments saying Bengals need best corner available. So what do we take already? All we've gotten so far is Jacob Rodriguez and, of course, Dexter Lawrence. Oh,
entire defense.
Well, okay, so we've got D tackle and linebacker taken care of. I feel good about that. All right, so Eli, I'll enlist you in this. Okay, so there's three. I'm going to throw just three players at you. Okay. Davison Igbinosun, Romello Height, Kamari Ramsey. Okay. Okay. All right. Is there a sizier edge rusher? Ooh, not really. We've kind of hit the dead part of edge rushers. That's all. It's just I don't know. That's not a word, but it just came out.
Bigger.
Igbanos.
You could say bigger.
No. Bigger could be offensive.
Sizier.
It's the time of year where we just make up words, right?
The Ramsey call makes sense, I think.
I just want Eli's approval so bad on this. Devin Moore, Chandler Rivers, man. I love Chandler Rivers. He can play on the inside.
I don't think you go that high. I think the Ramsey call makes sense.
All right, we're doing it. Kamari Ramsey. Are we good with Kamari Ramsey, Eli? I want to make you happy with this class. You came out with Dexter Lawrence, Jacob Rodriguez, Kamari Ramsey. If you feel good about that, I feel good about that. All right, I guess the silence tells me he feels good about that. We're doing it.
Saints up here. We took Carnell Tate and Caleb Banks for New Orleans.
Okay. More corner.
Yeah.
The edge depth really fell off, man. Romello Height's actually this might be a place where Height could rotate and fit in.
Yeah, I was thinking of Romello Height here too. I'm just trying to think of anyone else that would even make sense. I do think Josiah Trotter comes off the boards. We should get him off the board sometime soon, but I just don't know if this is the team for him. So
no, probably not.
I'm gonna go Romello Height. He had a great year this past year. There obviously is a lot of size concerns with him there, but I like him enough to take him here to the Saints.
The fact that he needs to go to a place where he doesn't have to start. The fact that he wouldn't have to start in New Orleans, I don't hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs, Delane Parker and Chris Bell. Oh. Delane Parker. I need a run stopper. Something about Darrell Jackson jumps at me. It's kind of the range where I like him here. Maybe more. Have we gone any offensive line too? We haven't done any offensive line picks.
Isn't it Big Citrus still available, right? Isn't Dominic Orange still available?
Yeah, he's still here too. He's probably going before Jackson. I think, should I go flexible O-line like a Caleb Tiernan or Big Citrus?
Probably Dominic Orange.
All right. Big Citrus going to Kansas City.
All right. Big Citrus.
Let it rip. Miami. One of 4 third-round picks for the Dolphins. 4 of them. Love that.
Jeez. Let me find Big Citrus on here real quick. All right, Miami. So we got Jamal McCoy. We got Mekhi Lemon. Who are the other picks that we got for them already?
McCoy, Lemon, and Keelan Rutledge.
Oh, Keelan Rutledge, right. Yeah.
I think, to be honest, you could double up at either of those positions you already took. You could go D-line. You could, just take good football players, man, because you got 4 third-round picks to work with here with Miami. Do whatever you want. Yeah. Not that you wouldn't anyway, but.
Let's see. I kind of like the Tiernan call out too. I think Tiernan, I actually might go with him here. Let's add more to that offensive line. He can play a little tackle, play a little interior for you too. Whereas Rutledge is just a guard for you, but I think Tiernan, he most likely has to play interior, but I think there is a chance he could stick a tackle too. I'm going to go Caleb Tiernan here for Miami.
Hey, nothing wrong with offensive line depth. I'm in on it. All right. Through our previous trades, we have a pick here with the Jets that we didn't have at 74 starting out. We got 76 from Pittsburgh. And we have so far Arvell Reese, Omar Cooper, Colton Hood, A.J. Halsey. We got a lot of work with it. Man, Caleb Tiernan might have been a good pick here if you gave it to me. Darn it. Trenches. Oh, maybe I take a new center. Oh, am I going to take your guy? There's not any guards left that I love.
I don't know if Slaughter goes this high. I will just say.
I don't care. The Jets don't even have this pick right now in real life. I can do whatever I want. Let's see. Unless I think
house money.
Tight end. Oh, they could take a tight end. Some of these tight ends have really shot up, like a Sam Roush. But I hate it. I can't do something I hate with a pick that I acquired for myself. That makes no sense. Yeah, I'm doing it. Throwing a curveball. Give me Jake Slaughter, center of the future. We'll leave Joe Tippmann.
Okay.
I've been a fan of leaving Joe Tippmann or moving him back to center. I'm going to leave him at guard, and we have Joe Tippmann and Jake Slaughter there on the inside. I'm in. Josh Myers, Jake Slaughter is coming for your job.
Jake Slaughter. All right. I don't know if he's actually going to go this high, but I love it, man. I think he's worthy of being a second-round pick. I would take him the second round of this draft. So, yeah, Jake Slaughter comes off the board here to New York. All right, the Rams up here at 77.
Well, you got some receivers sitting there.
Do. I kind of love the Antonio Williams fit in offense, man. I'm not going to lie.
Hey, some guys are just natural-born separators.
Yeah, I kind of love him with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams there. I might go with Antonio Williams. I think receiver is a quiet big need for LA for the future. So I'm gonna go with Antonio Williams, the top guy on the board there for PFSN.
Okay, all right. I don't hate that at all. Okay, let's see. You went Anthony Hill previously. I could legitimately double up at linebacker and not feel bad about it. I'm not gonna do it because I'm sure I'll hear it from Colts fans. But you could tell me that if they did what the Bengals did and drafted two of them and started them both, I would not be that shocked. But I'm not going to do it on back-to-back picks. They lost Michael Pittman. I know they have Alec Pierce, but they've gotten Josh Downs, but I need another outside threat. I think I'm actually going to get, is there anyone else I like here better? I don't think so.
Hurst, maybe?
Ted Hurst or Bryce Lance?
I think Hurst goes above him, but it's close.
I think their skill sets are pretty similar. I could go with either. Ted Hurst here to the Colts.
That's what I would lean personally, but I think either makes sense.
Let's do it. Get a perimeter threat out there. Replace Pittman with something on the outside because as it is right now, I don't love the fact that it's basically just Pierce and Downs. And Pierce now is going into, I believe it's an ankle surgery that he's going to miss. He's going to be out the next 3 months and maybe getting a late start to training camp. So don't love that. But let's get another outside threat. Ted Hurst to Indianapolis.
All right, love that. D'Angelo Pon's already. Could just go receiver here for.
Oh yeah. For
Atlanta. Honestly, dude,
be a Bryce Lance or Skylar. Either of those first. I have Skylar Bell, Bryce Lance, Zachariah. I think any of them could work.
I was just gonna say I'm staying in Georgia. I'm going Zachariah Branch. I think he's going somewhere around this range, and Atlanta gets to keep the guy who played for Georgia, not from Georgia, but played for Georgia there. And I think that's probably who they go with here. I think he's the next receiver off the board here.
You can stay in Georgia, just stay off the sidewalk. All right. I think I also want to go receiver here. Maybe. Yes, Zachariah Branch.
Yep. Zachariah Branch to the Falcons.
I think I'm going to stick at receiver here also. We've gone guard and edge so far for the Ravens. I think this will be, I might go with my Bryce Lance spot here. Malachi Fields is also a guy that I think could sneak into the third round here. Is Malachi Fields going before Bryce Lance, we think? Or do I go in a different style and take Skylar Bell or Deion Burks or a smaller guy? I don't know
about Deion Burks. I would probably lean. Yeah, I think Malachi Fields probably goes above him, but I don't think it's enough of a difference where you can, if you feel like you want to get Malachi or Bryce Lance off the board, I think it makes sense. But Malachi Fields probably goes before him, I would say.
Yeah,
let's go Skylar Bell Fields too.
Yeah, I think we're going to get Bell off the board here before this ends. But I'm going to go with Fields. I think the Ravens, let's say they add some size along in there with Zay Flowers in that receiving court. They got to come out of this draft with a receiver too at some point.
All right. So Malachi Fields to the Baltimore Ravens.
Jacksonville. Got trade in Stukes already, and now you've got 3 third. Man, the last 20 picks here are just all in the state of Florida. Look at this. 3 third-round picks for Jacksonville.
Yeah. D-tackle.
Supplement at tight end, D-line.
Oh, man, Josiah Trotter's still here. Yeah, we got to
Oh, it's a good it's a good call.
Yeah, let's do it here. Let's do him here to Jacksonville. We have to do it. Yeah, I think he's fallen too far in this.
I'd still be a little worried about the coverage, but once you get in the 3rd round, this is a good value. And I think what would end up happening here is you let him and Ventrell Miller basically just fight for the starting spot, and it would be a heavy-handed fight, I'll tell you. Man.
Yeah, I think he's a guy here.
Minnesota. I don't hate the idea of Darrell Jackson. I don't hate the idea of Skylar Bell. They need a center, don't they, too? This team needs a center. Hecht is gone.
Connor Lew makes sense, I think. Yeah.
I like Logan Jones, though, in their system. Do you like Lew enough more so than Jones that the system isn't going to matter? Or should I wait and see if I get Logan Jones anyway at 97?
Jones could be available at 97. That's probably the range where I take him. But I think Connor Lew is above him.
I'm going to go D-line first then. Because I don't think I'm going to get this guy, maybe even beyond this next pick. I'm going to take Darrell Jackson. I kind of like, I kind of like if you're someone that likes Caleb Banks and doesn't get him, I think Darrell Jackson's a really good alternative. Just keep the darn pad level down, and he could be really solid for you, I think, especially in run defense.
All right, Darrell Jackson goes to the board there to Minnesota. I'm up here with the Carolina Panthers. Who do we take, Ray Dalton? Can you see for me? I'm trying to scroll through right now.
We have Kenyon Sadiq and Lee Hunter.
Okay. Interesting.
You could take Connor Lew here. They signed Luke Fortner, but that's not a long-term fix to me. You could take Connor Lew right here. You could take Skylar Bell right here. Chandler Rivers as like a nickel option makes a lot of sense.
Let's go with Skylar Bell. I think Skylar Bell is going to go somewhere around here and just add more weapons for Bryce Young, get Kenyon Sadiq and Skylar Bell in that receiver room with Tedder McMillan, and all of a sudden you're starting to look at a really, really fun receiving core for Carolina next year. So let's do Skylar Bell here to Carolina.
I don't hate that at all. I think the fact that with Sadiq and Skylar Bell, you add a lot of easy type throws into your offense. I think that makes their offense just there's a different dimension to it from that point that I don't mind at all. Packers here. Is this because they're going to start Sean Ryan at center? They're not taking a center. Maybe a guard like a Farmer, a Billy Schrouth or something like that. They could use another back too behind Josh Jacobs. Like, would they use a 3rd round pick on a back, or do I just go with a corner? Like Igmanosin might make some sense.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon took an Ohio State corner last year. He took Denzel Burke last year in Arizona.
He did.
Davis and Igmanosin, it is. There's your reasoning. Nailed it.
Love it.
Simple.
Steelers here.
You've gone all Alabama so far. Caden Proctor, Jeremy Bernard. Is there another Alabama? You want LT Overton?
No, you know what I'm going to do, and you're probably going to hate it, Dalton, but just going off the consensus board, this guy might go higher than we think. You know what I'm going to do here?
Garrett Nussmeier?
Nope, I'm taking Carson Beck.
Oh, okay, you're going the other way.
Carson Beck has launched up the consensus board lately. He's 63 right now on the consensus board right now. And Pittsburgh with the Aaron Rodgers stuff. Aaron Rodgers hasn't signed yet. Who knows what's going on there? Right now, Will Howard is their number 1 quarterback right now. So I could see Carson Beck being the 3rd quarterback off the board. I think right now it might be the betting favorite to be the 3rd quarterback off the board for whatever reason. He's just launched up the board recently. So I'm going to go Carson Beck here for the Steelers.
I'm actually not going to kill that. In this, I mean, I don't top 100, like borderline top 100 with some of these guys. I've seen some outlets with Carson Beck QB3. He's somewhere between 3 and 6, and you know what you're getting. And if nothing else, you've kind of secured. Maybe you've even just secured yourself the next Mason Rudolph, like a stable backup. But I'm not going to hate that. I thought you were going Nussmeier, which I think is certainly still a possibility. But yeah, no, I'm not going to kill that. I mean, the Steelers look at their quarterback situation and tell me they're not going to take somebody in this draft. No, I thought maybe you'd go with your guy, Drew Aller. Could have done it at 99, maybe. Maybe take them both.
Maybe take them both. Have them compete.
There you go.
Were you scared to compete?
Never.
Carson Beck goes to Steelers at 85. We'll see what happens later on. See if they get another quarterback. But yeah, right. I think right now, based off consensus board and a lot of things that I've been seeing, that Carson Beck might be the third guy off the board in the quarterback class. So we'll see.
All right. Chargers here. Keldrick Falk and Jennings Dunker we already have. I actually kind of like the idea of tight end here to get a more traditional tight end with your guy Gadsden. Sam Roush, Oscar. We haven't gotten Oscar Delpoff yet either. He's a guy I'm lower on, but it feels like he's going top 100. Is Oscar Delp a Chargers pick?
Kind of. Yeah, it could be.
Might be in on that. Where? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do Oscar Delp, a more traditional tight end alongside Aronde Gadsden moving all over the place. I'm gonna go with. I personally probably wouldn't do this, but I think to get him top 100 somewhere here, which I think he's gonna go. Let's do it here to the Chargers and add to that room a little bit.
All right, I'm up next with the Miami Dolphins. I hate the way this edge board fell.
Could go anywhere too. I mean, I would not be. You doubled up on the O-line, but I think you could double up at receiver and corner too. Like, why not? The corner especially. Like, why not take like if Jeff Hafley wants a man corner, like you take a Devin Moore. Dalen Everett. Rivers is more of a zone guy, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm looking through it right now. I think I'm going to look at corner here. I think what I might do, man. I think I might go with yeah, you know what? This is not even a guy you mentioned, but give me Malik Muhammad. I think he might be the next guy on the board at corner. So I'm going to go with him here. I think he's still going to sneak into the third round. I don't know about Julian Neal and Devin Moore. Guys like that seem like more fourth-round picks. Chandler Rivers, too. I think Julian Neal still seems to have enough buzz that he might sneak into the top 100 here. So I'm going to go with him here.
I don't hate that. Jacksonville, I think I want to get something going on this defensive line. We've gotten Traden Stukes. We've got Josiah Trotter off. You know what? No, I lied. I just lied to our audience. I'm not going to do that. I am going to take Connor Lew here and see if he's not my center of the future once Robert Hainsey's contract is up. I'll take Connor Lew here at 88.
Connor Lew, love it.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, and I took him right before this Bears team.
I was just gonna say because we took Slaughter already, right?
Yeah, Slaughter's gone. So now I think the next best fit is you either go Logan Jones or you could take a stab at Brian Parker, play him at center. Brian Parker might be a thing.
Good. I kind of lean Logan Jones first if we're gonna do that.
You're gonna make me take Brian Parker. That's what you're gonna do. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it right now. There's no. Have we taken a safety?
I took Genesis Smith.
Okay.
So we've taken 2 D linemen and a free safety.
All right, I'm gonna go Logan Jones then. I think Logan Jones makes sense in that offense. Run a lot of outside zone. I think he makes sense in that offense. So I'm taking Logan Jones. I think he's next center off the board, and he's actually a really good scheme fit for the Bears as well.
All right. We're back once again with the Miami Dolphins. This is the Miami Dolphins show because they have 4 picks in the third round. I am going to. Which guy's going to go first? Oh, no, I've got options. Okay, I'm going to double up first and foremost at receiver. Jeff Hafley saw what one big and fast guy from North Dakota State could do in Christian Watson in Green Bay. I'm going with Bryce Lance. Same idea. We've taken 2 receivers. I believe it's Mekhi Lemon and Bryce Lance now, and they just need help in that room. I have no issue doubling up there. Bryce Lance at 90, and we'll be back one more time with the Dolphins at 94 in a minute.
All right. Love it right there. Okay, so we have the Arizona Cardinals.
Francis Malinois, Ty Simpson.
Yeah, that's it. That's right so far for the Cardinals. So we're going to go the defensive side of the ball now, because I think Donnie would be really mad if we don't take any defensive players in this 3-round mock for his Arizona Cardinals.
Grayson Halton?
Could do Grayson Halton. I think he would fit.
I wonder what Donnie would what he thinks here is a round 3 target. Grayson Hall. I mean, linebacker is just such a need, man. Is there any linebackers we would roll? Keyshawn Elliott. Oh man, this is rough.
Going through it right now, real quick. Yes, edge class, man, just dried up so fast.
Bud Clark.
LT Overton.
Bud Clark is kind of a Jalen Thompson replacement.
Yeah, that can make sense. I think Bud Clark makes sense. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with. I actually missed this guy. Kieran Crawford. I think he's gonna go top 100 somewhere.
Okay, we're going edge there. Kieran Crawford. Okay. All right.
Actually, if you want, before we do it, we could do Jayshawn Barham and be like linebacker / edge because you mentioned
Jayshawn Barham could work too.
Eli,
yeah, either or. I don't hate that.
Let's do Jayshawn Barham if we can. If not, we'll stick with it. But all right, okay, Jayshawn Barham.
Jayshawn Barham from Michigan. Yeah, you want to help out your run defense. Jayshawn Barham could help. I remember telling you 2 years ago when he was playing linebacker at Maryland, I was like, that guy's an edge player. Yeah, he's not a linebacker. He's an edge rusher. But yeah, I'm in on that. Okay.
Jayshawn Barham. The
Cowboys. We've gone David Bailey and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. And we did not make – did we make – oh, we did. We made trades up to number 6, but we gave a 2027 second. Chandler Rivers could be a guy here. Devin Moore could be a guy here. There's also rumors they're sniffing around at receiver also. And I also wouldn't hate some offensive. Oh. Do I take Markel Bell here?
Good.
I think they need to get deeper in
there. Have we gotten any?
Any what?
Is there any DBs off the board that we could take for Dallas?
Emmanuel McNeil-Warren.
Oh, McNeil-Warren. Okay,
that's what I was thinking. I could go corner. I could go Chandler Rivers for a smaller, flexible guy. I could go Devin Moore for an outside, but they took Siobhan Revel last year, so it's like kind of the same thing.
Yeah, there's not really linebackers, right? I mean,
you'd be looking at Keyshawn Elliott, Deontay Lawson, something like that. I might grab a swing tackle here, man, like a Markel Bell. We think he's going top 100? It's a large individual.
Yeah, I think so. I think he could go. I think it's not.
Yeah, let me get this team. It's either that or I take a back. I could take like a Jonah Coleman to complement Javonte. Because they're kind of thin back there.
Could do that too.
I think either of those makes sense. I'm gonna go Markel Bell. I'm gonna get him a swing tackle. I'm worried about their offensive tackle situation.
Yeah.
Tampa.
All right, Markel Bell.
Edge.
Tampa Bay.
We went Ruben Bain and Jake Golday. If there's any offensive linemen you like, feel free. Never bad to add depth.
Yeah.
Tight end could build more at tight end. Yeah, like Sam Roush could work. Or if there's anybody else you like, Jack Endries we like.
Yeah, just looking. Honestly, man, I go Grayson Halton here too.
Well, I can see that. Because can't see.
He's got a penetrator. I think he's going somewhere earlier than this. Honestly, I think just add more to that defensive line. I think would be a good call for Tampa Bay. So I'm gonna go Grayson Halton here for the Bucs.
Yeah, he might go sooner than that anyway. All right, we're back one more time with the Miami Dolphins.
Is this a Kieran Crawford?
We got Grayson Halton for Tampa Bay previously. So this Dolphins draft, we've gotten, to your point, 2 O-linemen, 2 receivers, 2 corners. D-line would make some sense. Yeah, you're probably right on that. Yeah, I'm seeing if there's anybody else here. Lucas. Caleb Proctor's a guy who's been getting top 100 hype. Yeah, let's do Kieran Crawford. That's fine. I'm in on that. Just there's your monster haul for the Miami Dolphins. Okay. New England. You've got New England with Ionicher and Derek Moore in hand.
Yeah.
Could also be a tight end spot.
Yeah, is there one that I like in this range though? Like Justin Jolie. I don't know if he goes this high. Kind of like maybe the safety board. I mean, you got Bud Clark there. That could be. fun.
Yeah, and they only have Kevin Byard on the 1-year deal. Bud Clark, I think, is going top 100. I'm kind of with you on this. Actually, yeah, I could
Bud
be in
Clark. I kind of like that. Yeah,
Bud
so do
Clark
I.
to New England. Okay, yeah.
All right, Bud Clark for the
right.
New England Patriots.
Bud Clark. Well done, Bud. 96 with Seattle. We got Avion Terrell and we got Sam Hecht. The chat picked Sam Hecht. All right. I respect it. Damn. You know what? I might have taken Bud Clark here to Seattle if you didn't. I think I messed up. Oh man, feels bad.
Yeah, you should have pushed against it. Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm a bad GM. What are you gonna do? I would have liked Mike Washington here. Jonah Coleman's low moving cost. My problem with Seattle's running back room is there's no speed. You have Charbonnet and Emmanuel Wilson, and Jonah Coleman doesn't help me with that. All right. You know what? I'm gonna make a fun pick just for you. Because I need athleticism if I'm Seattle and I need a running back. I can't, like, to me, I don't love the idea of Jonah Coleman, Emmett Johnson, Katron Allen, like those guys going to Seattle because I need speed.
Oh.
I'm going to take the gamble on your guy.
Nick Singleton?
Let's get Nick Singleton from Penn State to the Seahawks. And I think in that sort of committee role where he can still learn and just kind of be the burner, and, you know, you've got Shaheed there for special teams, but he can take kick returns as well. I'm going to go Nick Singleton. I would much rather, to me, if I'm Seattle, take a Nick Singleton or somebody that falls to me at 96 than do it with either of my first 2 picks. I would rather take this gamble.
All right. Nick Singleton comes off the board there to Seattle. I'm up here with the Vikings, who we have gotten.
What? Dylan Thieneman, Jadarian Price, and Darrell Jackson. I'd be in on this draft if I was a Vikings fan. Price is a little early for me, but I get it. Like, yeah. If there's an ideal spot to me for Jadarian Price, it's Minnesota. So I'm like, I'm not gonna land back.
Kind of like let's go to corner. I kind of like the Julian Neal fit there with Brian Flores in that defense.
Neal over Devin Moore.
Yeah, I think I would go Julian Neal here.
Wow, I didn't know which one you liked better. Okay, Julian Neal.
I like Devin Moore better, but I think Julian Neal might go a little earlier. That's why I'm taking him here.
All right. Julian Neal to Minnesota.
All right, Philadelphia.
Philly. Akeem Mesidor, Chris Brazzell, Keith Abney. We're dried up on safeties, aren't we? We took all our... Oh, no, we're not. I'm going Penn State 2 picks in a row. Zachy Wheatley.
Okay.
Zachy Wheatley to Philadelphia. Low moving costs. Going with it. See, you could take Garrett Nussmeier here now.
I was just gonna say I could take Garrett Nussmeier.
Just a full tilt, wide open, Will Howard, Garrett Nussmeier. Do what the Browns did last year. Just go with that. Just to have a Brown style 9-man quarterback competition. Just take Garrett. No, don't take Garrett Nussmeier. Don't do it. It will not be in your best interest.
No, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna take Carson Beck. We got Kane Proctor, Jeremy Bernard, and Carson Beck.
Could go take another offensive lineman.
I was just gonna say I'm kind of looking at this offensive line class. I don't hate Brian Parker. I know people listen to the center, but he can play guard, I think, too. Yeah, let's go Brian Parker. I'm a fan.
You messed up. You were supposed to take Brian Parker to the Minnesota. Oh, now they don't have a center. Look what you did. All right, what are you doing? You're doing Brian Parker here?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Last pick, Dalton.
Last pick, Jacksonville. Darn it! I was hoping. I didn't even think about that. Brian Parker should have been a Viking. I'm mad I didn't realize that and push back on it. Now I got to do another round.
Yeah.
Now we got to do a 4th round. So now you ruined it. No, you ruined it. All right, because now you already took Brian Parker. Now I'm gonna log off here and do a 4-rounder for myself. I'm gonna take Brian Parker at 18 overall. My God. All right. So Jacksonville, we've got Trayden Stukes, Josiah Trotter, Connor Lew. I don't hate depth at tight end. I don't hate depth on the D line. I've yet to take a D lineman. Anybody I like here? Your guy, Rayshon Benny. Big Dante.
He goes that high.
Do I get friend of the show, Dante Corleone, off the board? Caleb Proctor.
Caleb Proctor makes sense. I think Caleb Proctor which is probably the guy I would go with.
Caleb Proctor. Man, oh man. Get a little twitch and explosiveness in there. Yeah, we're going to do it. Caleb Proctor. He doesn't go 83 or wherever Stock Exchange had him, but we'll take him at number 100. We'll round it out. Southeast Louisiana. Let's get the FCS represented in here again. Ooh. Caleb Proctor has the 100th pick and final pick of the official preferred walk-on 3-round mock draft. Max.
There you go. 3-round mock draft for you guys right there. Predictive mock draft. Appreciate you guys for watching along this whole time. Want to remind you guys, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. That really, really helps us out right now. And follow the social media accounts we got too on X and on Instagram, and of course Dalton and I's personal social media accounts too. We will not be going live again this week because of course the draft is coming up this weekend. So we're not doing a draft show this year, unfortunately, but we will be tweeting, I'm sure, a lot of our draft takes while the draft goes on. And then I believe on Sunday, right, Dalton? I think on Sunday we're gonna have a.
Are we doing Sunday or Monday, Tuesday? What I don't know if we discussed
we'll figure out what day.
Yeah, we'll figure out. There's a way too early coming. We're figuring that out.
Way too early mock draft for the elite 2027 draft coming out after the draft is over, whether it be Sunday, Monday, or maybe even Tuesday for you guys too. But yeah, a lot to come on this channel and a lot more college football content coming on this channel. We're finally done with NFL draft content after this week is over. So we can't wait to get back to it with you guys. But again, subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss any of that. For Dalton Wasserman, for Eli, I'm Max Chadwick. We'll see you guys very, very soon with our way too early 2027 NFL mock draft.